Hello, everybody. Broadcasting to you live from the Orion spiral arm of the Milky Way galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, somewhere outside of that Cincinnati stadium that witnessed history where Myles Garrett became the single-season sack record holder. My name is Brian Engelman, and today is January 6th. You remember that day. But this time it's 2025. In this right here, well, the program that you're watching today, well, we call this program Strictly Football, and you're watching it on the new American media because the old American media has failed you. On today's show, yes, we're doing Strictly Football, and Nimbus is joining for the program. He just had lunch, and he's happy. He's as happy as you could possibly be, like making the playoffs in the NFL this season. Oh, there were some wins, there were some losses, there were some crazy games like the Ravens-Steelers. There were some heartbreaking moments like the Buccaneers getting the win, but still losing out the tiebreaker. And, you know, having that skid in the late season definitely cost them a postseason run. But we're here to break it all down on top of who were the coaches and GMs that were let go on Black Monday, who are the playoff matchups this week, what are some of the betting trends, what's the weather, who are the injuries, what are we looking at for the draft position in the top of next year's draft. All of that will be discussed today with myself, Mike Bara, Jim Mithchell, Ez'Ryel Robinson on Strictly Football. So buckle up because today's program, well, it starts for you right now.
I'm Eric Metcalf, and you're watching Unhappy Hour.
New American Media is proud to present a division of the Unhappy Hour sports show, Strictly Football.
It's the Unhappy Hour.
So much football to talk about today. I'm so excited. Mr. Mike Bara, welcome to the show, sir. How are you today?
I am good, Brian, because you know what I did? I cashed in my Seahawks preseason bets on the over-under 7.5 wins, which was ridiculous, Vegas.
7.5 wins was the Seahawks.
Winning the NFC West. So I am $880 richer. The question now is that we'll do a poll on my Twitter account later. What should I spend this on? That's What should Mike spend it on?
Oh, man.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It's tons of news to talk about, tons of games to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
And some games coming up.
Absolutely. I mean, maybe you could use them on playoff tickets or playoff merch. I mean, merch is always good. Man, you are having a potential historic season, doing really well, securing the number 1 seed in the NFC. Good on you and good on Jim. You guys, you are here at a perfect time. Jim, welcome to the show. Jim Mithchell Alexander. Look at you.
Good morning, Brian. I'm not as rich as Mike, but we did cash.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, if you bet on, and by the way, I looked back at last week's NFL, what do we call them? The pick 'em, where we pick our games. I forgot to go back to the NFL game picker and make a pick in your game. And so that one was left blank. I didn't even have a chance. We all tied last week. I didn't make up any ground, and I didn't even participate in that.
So I just won by a couple picks then. Okay.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, I guess we still have the postseason, and, you know, we still have some games that could flip.
That's true. It's not over until the postseason ends. Yeah.
Exactly. Maybe you could get everything wrong, and I could be the contrarian, and we could catch up. Ez'Ryel Pickens, welcome to the show, sir. How you feeling today?
Feeling great. Hey, Mike, I got a question. Do you know how to do a money spread? Or no?
A money what?
A money spread.
No, obviously I don't. And look, for a fucking guy who lived in strip clubs since 2005, I've never been like I throw the money up and it just goes in one plop right on her crotch. It never flutters down and rains.
So like what Gen Z does. So like, say you grab the money, right, and then you go like that with your hands. You twist it, and then you lay it out on your arm, like you spread it out on your arm.
Oh, okay. I'll practice that.
Yeah, and then like you take a picture or something. Yeah.
All right.
Do it.
And picking up a tip from Izzy, you're going to use that in Panama City someday, pal. I'll tell you that.
Nice. If not Tijuana, you're a little closer there, but I digress.
TJ is a fun place too. Yeah.
Yes. Well, let's get into the fun place called the NFL. My God, there's so many places to start. I think what we're going to do is we'll save the Cowboys for last because nobody really cares. It's a down season. The second story we're going to get to will be the Seahawks because you guys are the talk of the town. Really got it done. Super impressive season. Hopefully a lot more to it. Do you trust the quarterback? Who knows? There's a lot to discuss there. But I think for the purposes of today,
should we talk coaches first or games first? Or
well, I think let's maybe unpack the coaches as we hit the games. Because I'd say for today, let's start with my favorite team, the Cleveland Browns. For a team that had nothing going on, I'll tell you what, it sure turned into an interesting game with content worth discussing as Myles Garrett became the single-season sack record holder, and Kevin Stefanski has been fired. He is gone. He is no longer a part of the Cleveland regime.
Well, Jim, I'm noticing Jim Mithchell doesn't look real happy about the outcome of this game, and I think that you can say that Stefanski deserves to be fired for winning that game. Wouldn't you agree, Jim?
Oh, there's that angle too.
Look at that expression.
Yeah. Mike's referring to the 6-team money line that I took, and I got greedy, and I went against Brian's team.
Browns, yeah.
And as a result, let me see.
At your own peril. I could have warned you.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I won 5 out of 6, and the one I did not win was the Bengals. So that's pretty much how that goes.
Well, the game on the field was kind of interesting. Shador didn't give us a whole heck of a lot, but then again, our offensive line isn't giving us a lot. Quinshon Judkins is injured at the running back position. Neither of our 2 starting tight ends were out there, Harold Fannin or David Njoku. It really was just a patchwork group of people on offense. But that being said, there were a heck of a lot of storylines. 2 returns for touchdowns from the defense.
Yeah.
Kevin Stefanski's been fired mercifully. I can't stand the guy. I think his inability or unwillingness to work with Baker Mayfield set our franchise back half a decade. We had to mortgage the farm trying to get Deshaun Watson instead of using those 4 first-round draft picks on quality wide receivers, offensive linemen, and round out a solid team. But, I think, Mike, maybe Jim Schwartz with that defense maybe earned the right. He's a former head coach. He used to coach the Lions.
Yeah.
Maybe Jim Schwartz should get a chance to be the head coach and bring in someone that actually understands how to run an offense, perhaps. We'll get to Myles in a second, but any thoughts on the game in general? Or
not the specifics of the game, except that I think Shador has shown you enough that you can take a shot with him next year. If there's not a quarterback sitting there at 5 or wherever you're picking,
6, I think.
6. Then I'll go to Tankathon in a second. Then I think you can say we'll run Shador back out there, and we still have Deshaun Watson on the roster, and we still have to pay him, and they got all these guys, so they can go forward with that. I think Stefanski needed to go. I'm not emotionally involved in it like you are, so it probably needed to go because it was just time. Sometimes it just gets to be time to move on from somebody. Don't tell Pete Carroll that. And
right.
I look at the Browns situation, and they're in decent shape. You got 2 first-round picks. It's not a great draft, but you got something to build on there. And look, John Gruden expressed interest in coaching Shedeur Sanders. I think you should take that seriously. I mean, I realize he had some problems with those emails with some not very nice jokes and things he said about what's his name, the NFLPA president at the time. But if he wants to coach, an offensive player. I think you guys should give that serious consideration. Jim Schwartz, I thought, got a bad deal in Detroit. I thought he coached pretty well there and didn't really deserve to be fired. Another guy that you might think about is the former head coach of the Giants, who's now the DC for the Kansas City Chiefs. Who am I thinking of?
Not Dable. You're thinking of
No.
Who is it?
Spagnuolo?
Spagnuolo
There you go.
might get another shot because what the Browns need is some stability and order out of the chaos. And the chaos is created by the conflict between the general manager, who I'm surprised they kept, and Stefanski, and the whole Shedeur thing, and the owner. So you get somebody who's on the same page with the owner. That's what you got to, I think, do first. And you know, Myles Garrett, no question, defensive player of the year for that season. Yeah. Although I'm gonna say Burrow took a Favre. Burrow dived. That should not have done that. He should have had to earn that. But on the other hand, Strahan didn't earn it, so fair's fair, I guess, right? Can you believe Strahan was complaining on the air about a Burrow taking a dive? I'm like, seriously? Yeah. Brett Favre rolled out and laid down for you to touch him. I mean, so anyway.
Pot meat kettle on that one. Izzy,
that's how I look at the Browns.
Izzy, you never got to watch Reggie White and Bruce Smith and some of these legends. You've seen some as of late, but what do you make of Myles in general and setting the single season sack record, and also knowing that none of the teams in the last half of the season were even throwing the ball. They weren't holding it more than 2.5 seconds because they couldn't. The whole game plan of the Steelers last week was just don't let Myles get close, and he still broke the sack record with like 200 fewer snaps than Strahan.
Burrow did take a fall there. That was pretty funny, but I think I sent it to the group chat too that Michael Strahan's going to come up to Burrow in the future and ask for his sack back. But especially Myles Garrett. He was the first overall pick, and he's just a freak athlete, freak human being. If you look at him when he was in high school, around my age, he looked like just a specimen, like not even human, and he carried that on to the NFL. So, I'm not surprised at all. I'm glad he did it, but I feel bad that he did it on the Browns, and so only won 4 games this year on a historic season. That overshadows it a lot, but he still holds the record, but it's kind of bad to see, dang, I did all this work just for my team to go out and not do anything this year. So,
yeah. The thing is, Garrett, like he's a great one. And like you said, physically, he is that guy. It's interesting you say that, because one of the things I always said about Aaron Donald is you look at him in college and you look at him in his rookie season in the pros, and his neck is about twice as big. And that's steroids. Aaron Donald was a blown-up steroid doll. And that's probably why he retired a little early, because those guys, it tends to use your body up, right? But Myles Garrett has always been this guy. He's not Barry Bonds. He didn't use drugs. He's a terrific player. He's worth the first overall pick. But, Brian, if you really want to be sad, I want to remind you again, back-to-back years, you could have had Myles Garrett and Josh Allen. And I love Baker, but you picked Baker instead of Josh. And where would the Browns be?
On that note, it is interesting because they say, look, Josh Allen, this is your chance to win a Super Bowl. Yeah. You don't have Mahomes, you don't have Burrow, you don't have Lamar. If you don't win it now, you got nothing. And by the way, if you look at that draft, you look at, I think it was Darnold, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, none of them have won a Super Bowl.
No.
Everybody's still fighting in that obscurity. And by the way, Myles Garrett, as great as he has been, a generational, surefire, should be unanimous first ballot Hall of Famer. Patrick Mahomes was the quarterback in that draft that we didn't take. Yeah. So, everything's subjective. It is what it is. But when you pick a defensive guy, number one, Jim, you have to have someone generational. And Myles Garrett definitely has fit the bill for that, you would say.
Oh, yeah. He's going to the Hall of Fame. It doesn't matter, how many games they win next year or the year after. He's a lock. He's the only indiscretion in his career was when he used his helmet as a sledgehammer against Mason Rudolph.
That was in self-defense.
You just
was
claim self-defense, Brian, because it's the Steelers. You know, if it were any other team, it was, it would. Oh my God, where are the police? He needs to be thrown in handcuffs. Well, no victim, no crime, right?
He committed mayhem on the field and tried to say that Mason Rudolph N-bombed him. I don't know. I don't know Mason Rudolph very well.
Well,
I kind of doubt that surrounded by like 9 black guys who have to protect him.
As soon as an NFL player, trots his way to the local police station, and files a BWDW report, against another player. I mean, they pull his man card, and he's going to be banished from the NFL. So that crap's going to go on the field. It doesn't matter. I mean, there's going to be mayhem. There's going to be battery, substantial bodily harm. I mean, it's just it. He's a Hall of Famer. Maybe. But did you see on Sports Center yesterday? Haslam did a. And for those of you who don't know who Haslam is, he's the owner of Brian's team. But he did a little press conference, and of course he said all the right things. It's on me. The usual horse shit. That usually it's the quarterbacks and the coaches that talk like that. But he said there's got to be changes. And we've won 4 games this year, and we won 4 games last year, is what he said. And it's the regular crap. And I just feel bad for Garrett. He deserves to at least go to the conference championship at least.
Oh yeah. And if they wouldn't have cheated,
he's a great player, and.
If they wouldn't have cheated for the Chiefs, we might have been able to make it during that Baker Mayfield playoff run. I mean, we lost that game by less than a touchdown, and they took a touchdown off the board on a dirty helmet-to-helmet collision from Dirty Dan Sorensen. I mean, that was a wide-open path. We would have played in the AFC Championship game the next week against the Bills for, who knows, for a chance to play in the Super Bowl.
Interesting point you brought up about the Bills, too, with Josh Allen, because
this is the year.
Because this is probably the worst Bills team of the last 4 or 5. That's true. He has the best, clearest path, but he's actually got the worst team around him that he's had since he's been. The Bills from 2 or 3 years ago would have streaked right through. Even last year when they lost to the Chiefs, when Josh Allen made the first down and they didn't give it to him, that team would go right to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But this team, I just don't think they're very good. So it's an interesting setup that's happening here. So.
Absolutely. Let me run through a couple of quick stats here as we move off of this, but it's just a very relevant game for historical purposes. And I want to set the record straight on a few things. So Steven is saying, I think the craziest stat about Myles Garrett's record-setting season is how much harder he had to work to get it. Teams didn't game plan for TJ Watt in 2021. They just let him line up against the right tackle or the tight end with no help. Myles Garrett had a 57% double team rate this year. Compare that to TJ Watt's 15% in 2021. That's not even in the same ballpark. It's not even remotely the same. That's 4 times more because he was that much of a game wrecker. This is I can't play this because they'll flag us. But Myles Garrett also played 130 fewer snaps in 2025 than Michael Strahan did in 2001. Records are meant to be broken, but of course Strahan is saying, I mean, I hold the record for the 16-game season. They hold it for the 17 games.
Yeah, and that's a point.
By the way, let me just say, I don't fault Strahan for saying it. I would say the exact same. A little bit of elbow jabbing. They're 2 of the greatest to ever do it. Fine. It's a bullshit claim, but I'll give him a little, whatever. It's fine. That's all he can cling to because the other advanced.
Strahan was a good player, but for me, he's not a Hall of Famer, and he was never a top 15, 25 pass rusher. There were guys I thought were a lot better, but yeah. He's good. I'm not saying he's not good, but all right.
And then I guess the last thing here, just the snaps required for each sack record. Strahan needed 567 snaps. Watt needed more, 617.
So even though Garrett had more games, he had fewer actual snaps to get the sacks. The other thing too is
one more component, because our team is so shitty. The other teams are running the ball. They're not playing from behind. So, I mean, you look at it from any perspective, and it's
a tremendous achievement, and it should be recognized for a future Hall of Fame player, no question about it. And what's kind of interesting is you notice when these guys are chasing these sack records, how their numbers trail off at the end of the season. Those last 4 or 5 games, really hard on the human body to play NFL football that many weeks. And so it may be a situation where, you break this record, and this record may stand for 10, 15, 20 years. Because if they add more games, if they go to 18 games, it's actually maybe not going to be more opportunities, because now it's like you pointed out with the snaps, you have to rotate guys more to get through those extra games.
Yeah.
So it'll, good for Myles Garrett. He is a fantastic player. I'd love to have him if you guys would like to trade him.
Well, he did everything he could to try to get the hell out of town. And I will give general manager Andrew Berry credit. He said, hell no, you're not on the table. Like, you're going to go through your promotional tour trying to get out of Cleveland, but we're not trading you. Andrew Berry separated himself from Kevin Stefanski. They used to be locked together like Velcro. If you get rid of one, you get rid of both. But this year, Berry had a fantastic draft. He did the right stuff in the offseason. And just one final note, we signed Andre Schmidt. I believe he was undrafted rookie this year. And he was the GOAT who screwed it up, the GOAT that you blame things on, not the greatest of all time. He missed that opening kick against the Bengals to start our season on this trajectory of hell. He kicked the game winner in the final game of the season. We were trending upward. Obviously, these 2 wins don't mean anything. We went from the number 2 pick to number 6. It might cost us a quarterback, but we're also trying to change culture. And we were a better team than our record showed this year, I think.
You are what you are.
We are what our record says we were. So anyway, a lot of storylines for the Browns for a terrible team, a terrible year. But, it's a team in transition, and I'm looking forward to moving up and getting some things right.
Yeah, you guys are picking 6th, 5 and 12. Won your last 2. You would have been picking. You would have only picked 4th.
Oh, it went from 4 to 6.
Yeah, so big deal. Yeah.
Well, let's go to the big deal that is your team, Jim, and your team, Mike. How about this? You held the San Francisco 49ers with something to prove to 3 points.
Yeah.
You might have your concerns about Sam Darnold at quarterback. What has he proven? Fine, I get that. But I'll tell you what that defense has proven. It's proven that you guys are a force to be reckoned with, maybe favorites to win it all in the Super Bowl. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, but great win this week.
Well, have to be favorites to win the Super Bowl now that they got 2 games at home, or at least get to the Super Bowl now. They've got 2 home playoff games, home field advantage. And that is a great defense. That is an all-time great defense. Is it as good as the Legion of Boom? Yeah, it actually is. I mean, according to the stats, but in a different way. That team had these incredible athletes. Earl Thomas, maybe the fastest safety I've ever seen play. Cam Chancellor, gigantic hitter, like Lawrence Taylor type hitter. Richard Sherman. There's a chart that shows that, like, Richard Sherman during 2010 to 2018, there's like evaluations of corners, and all of the other players, like Darrelle Revis is here on the curve. Richard Sherman's like over here for shutting guys down. One of the greatest corners who's ever played in the game. Could argue he's the best corner that ever played in the game. Great defensive line, Hall of Fame middle linebacker, terrific outside linebackers, underrated guys. But they produce the same thing. So even though this team doesn't have that level of talent, they're so well coached. They're so smart. We knew everything. If you watch that game, we knew everything the 49ers were doing. We knew everything, and we were prepared for everything. And the Seahawks, and they stuffed them. And honestly, Mike McDonald was really stupid to go for it on 4th and 1 after driving, or 4th and 5, 10, after driving all the way down on that first drive. Just take the fucking field goal. And then, the kicker misses 2 makeable field goals. I mean, it should have been at least 22-3, if not more than that. That was a beatdown. And 4 49ers players, 4 of them, left the game with injuries and didn't come back. So we beat the shit out of them. And I think, just to be a preview, they're going to get their asses kicked in Philadelphia this weekend because of the beatdown they just took on Saturday.
All right.
So I'm excited. The thing is, look.
Is he jumping at the middle there? We'll get to
just a second. One more thing. In the playoffs, fluky things can happen. You can lose. You can lose to a team you should beat. we're better than the Rams, but the margin is not that great. So if some fluky shit happens, we could lose to the Rams, we could lose to the 49ers, we could lose to the Eagles. Maybe even the Packers or Bears might have a shot because of the way Caleb Williams can run around. But if fluky things don't happen, this team should be in the Super Bowl, and they should win it because they're better than any of the AFC teams. I hope they do. It would be fun and exciting and way cool, but if it's all about Sam Darnold. If Sam Darnold doesn't give the ball away too easily, I think this team has a shot.
Mike, is there a scenario where they've got to play the Rams again?
Yeah, in the divisional round. If the Bears beat the Packers,
win enough.
I hate that.
Packers and the Rams beat the Panthers.
I do not like that.
No. But look, may the best man win. It's like Ali Frazier. Okay, third fight, rubber match. Let's see who the better man is. At least you'll know. As long as the only things that concern me are something fluky, Sam Darnold meltdown, which I don't think is going to happen because I think he's got moderated now, and the refs. Those are the three things that concern me about winning a Super Bowl. And the other thing too is somebody pointed out, this is pretty interesting. If you look at Sam Darnold's record this year, he did not have a terrible high turnover season. He had 2 bad games in a row. The 4 interception game against the Rams and another 3 or 4 turnovers against the Cardinals the next week. If you take those 2 games out, he's got like 28 touchdowns and 11, 12 turnovers, including a fumble. So it's really not that bad, but he had 2 really bad meltdown games. So interesting stat to think about.
Speaking of stats, Jim, we'll get to you in a second, Izzy. What did you make of this? You maybe didn't put a bet on winning it like Mike did. Mike, you got the fan. What do you call that, Izzy? What's that thing called? You call it the
money spread.
Money spread. But then you got to lay it on your forearm.
When you twist it, you got to lay it down on your forearm.
So it's
the other way. Lay it flat. Yeah, that way.
The spin and slide.
I'm not good at that.
Mr. Jim.
Yeah, those are need to know things for success in life.
That is says the cop from Vegas.
Yeah.
No, this was not on the game. This was on.
Yeah, that was on your season.
Over under for wins, which was 7.5, and I'm like, I'm taking that all day. Why did Vegas give me that? And then winning the division. But if I really believed in my team, I would have also bet them to go to or win the Super Bowl.
The only thing is they held on to your money for 4 weeks longer than what they had to. So they made interest on your cash.
Yeah, well.
So Jim, what do you make of this season in general and this game specifically?
Well, it's like I said, the worst case scenario is they have to end up playing the Rams, because the Rams are a huge favorite in Carolina this week, and I kind of hope the Rams lose just because of that type of scenario, because I don't like Seattle having to play the Rams again. I just think they're kind of walking wounded down there in LA, but McVay is just that kind of coach. I mean, he's if anybody can figure it out, McVay will figure it out, how to beat the Seahawks. And they probably will. I don't think the 49ers are, I mean, you talk about a team that's walking wounded, that's Santa Clara going into Pittsburgh. I mean, I don't think they're looking forward to that at all, but statistically, the Seahawks were a good bet going into this game because not because it was a division game. That's the reason I didn't like betting this game, and I didn't bet it. They were 13-1 straight up and 11-3 against the spread on the road going into Santa Clara. Mike was pretty well convinced that they were going to win the game. In fact, it was pizza night, and Mike and Dave came over, and Mike was kind of backed off on his medication, so he wasn't breaking windows in my house like he usually does, watching a Seahawk game. But
usually does. Hold on, was there a singular window?
No. It's not a physical thing. It's more of a sound thing that shatters glass.
Okay.
He yells a lot, when there's an interception or, but yeah, Mike was pretty good,
Well, considering I'm on high dose steroids right now, I think I did really, really well.
You did
Just
really
look,
well.
Cooper Kupp, you're a fucking 10-year veteran, okay? When you've got the ball running downfield in the red zone at the end of the half, you don't hold the ball out here, okay? You tuck it in and protect it because some faster guy is catching you from behind to try to knock it out, you dumbass.
Are you hearing this? Amplify that by 11.
Well, look, I saw Devin Bush on that return. He was starting to showboat, and Myles Garrett had to blast somebody on that pick six return. Halfway down the field, he almost screwed that up. Like Don Beebe against the Cowboys.
Don Beebe.
Leon Lett.
Good Bills reference there. Don Beebe slapping the ball out.
Yes, as Leon.
Yeah, another Leon Lett move. No offense on the Cowboys.
I'm thrilled for you guys and your happy season. Like what a great time to be here. Season 2 of Strictly Football when it matters. I'm here just covering the Browns. Izzy, you're like, I like the Cowboys, but they suck too. But you guys are like potentially on a run to a Super Bowl, and we're documenting it in real time. It's pretty fun. I'm happy for you guys. You're shaking your head though. What's that?
Not if the Rams beat the Panthers.
You would have concerns there. All right.
I don't like
Ez'Ryel, what did you make of this? A surprise that the 49ers only put up 3 points, or no surprise because the Seahawks D is that good?
Yeah, I had the Seahawks winning this one. I didn't see the 49ers winning the final game of the season because of the season they have to go through. I mean, they lost a lot of players, banged up, trying to get them back, and it's the final game. Of course, it would have helped them out a lot, but I didn't see it happening at all. So it's a great win for the Seahawks to get the first seed. So, I mean, that's going to play a lot, especially up in Seattle. But as far as Mike was saying, he wants the 49ers to lose to the Eagles. I'm on the opposite side. I need the 49ers to win as much as I hate both teams. So it's whatever.
As much as you hate both teams. All right, that's fair. Well, here you go. You're in the playoffs, and you get that crucial. Mike, how crucial is the bye?
It's very crucial because at this time of year, you need the week off, and McDonald has been very good about coming out of a bye and winning the game, so that makes me feel good. You need that week off. That's a huge advantage now because you're playing the extra regular season game. And again, the toll football takes on guys' bodies is just phenomenal. So they have a chance to take some time off, get a couple of solid backup guys healthy, and go into the divisional round ready to roll. So, it's a big deal. And the path is so much harder to get to the Super Bowl without it. Because if you lose that game, you're the 5th or 6th seed. Seahawks would have been the 5th seed. And you got to go on the road, even though you might be playing a shitty Tampa team or a not as good as you Bears team. It's not that easy to go into Chicago in January and win a football game.
No, it's not.
Nope.
It's huge. It's a huge advantage.
Yeah, and it's going to be strange because they don't do the reseeding. I mean, you're having very, average, barely 500 teams that are hosting games over teams with 12, 13 wins. It's just the nature of how this happens. It happens in every sport. It gets kind of weird, but yeah, congrats on your good season, and hopefully it goes okay for you moving forward. Let's go ahead and bounce to the rest of the games. Tampa Bay gets the win, 16-14 over the Panthers. I mean, 8-9, 8-9, 8-9. All the teams were pretty much even, and the Saints came on late. They weren't as bad as you thought, maybe, but it was too little, too late because the Atlanta Kirk Cousins they got the win over the Saints, and the tiebreaker means Carolina gets to back into the playoffs. Yeah. They're going to be hosting a playoff game now.
Yeah, we really do need to. I mean, I have no look. If you win your division, you get in the playoffs. I think that's fair. I don't have an issue with that because that means a marginal team gets in every year. But they shouldn't be hosting. They should not be hosting a game if they're 8-9. I mean, remember the classic game? The only time I can remember is that game against the Saints, the year after the Saints won the Super Bowl. They had to come to Seattle. It was Pete Carroll's first year. We were a shitty 7-9 team, and we beat them in the playoffs with the beast mode, the beast run, right? The beast mode run. And but that's the only time that I can remember, a losing team division winner winning a playoff game. And, it was great. It was fantastic. It's a terrific story. It was 15 years ago now. So this nonsense needs to stop, and they should not be hosting a playoff game because they didn't earn it. Just because you win your division doesn't mean you earn it. It should give you a playoff spot, but they should be the 8th seed or the 7th seed. And to me, it's just that part sucks. And again, they've ruined my ticket, my $20 ticket. I'm not betting on the Panthers again. Bryce Young, up and down and up and down. He just doesn't seem to be able to consistently bring it every week. So they're disappointing, but they've made progress. But I'm not sure they're going to go to that next playoff level, that next level with Bryce. I just don't know if they're going to be able to do it. And, so they might be looking to move to a different quarterback. I remember there was a video of the owner. Their owner's kind of an idiot, but, he poured beer on a fan last year at a game. Yeah. And I forget the guy's name, but he did not look like a guy who was happy at the end of that game. So we'll see what happens there in Carolina. But for now, they've backed into the playoffs. It's too bad for Tampa Bay to win the game. You play to win the game and then get jobbed out by the Falcons. But hey, that's what happens. It's life in the big city.
Jim.
Yeah, I think the only way to alleviate that problem, and I don't like this scenario, is by taking the top 6 teams in the conference, and making the division the tiebreaker, instead of the opposite. But it's, I still think that, if you win your division, you should have a right to go to the playoffs. But there are just, there is always going to be a bad division or 2 bad divisions. And they always seem like they come out of the South lately. And that's just the way it is. And that's the way it's structured. And if it's not broke, don't fix it. I think it's fine.
Do you guys ever remember a division winner with a losing record like this? And we've had 4 or 5 of them since 2010.
Well, the AFC North
besides that one, Seahawks.
AFC North was not far off this year. I mean, there were a lot of 500 battles. AFC North, the NFC South.
Well, I mean, I don't remember. I don't remember them winning the game. So what? It just seemed because if you can create the opportunity for an upset, like a bad team. Division winner hosting a game and pulling off the upset 30% of the time, then that's compelling television, right? But they're going to get slaughtered, right. And most of the time they get slaughtered. So why are they hosting a home game against a more deserving team? The Rams won 12 games. This game should be in LA. It's only
that's a very fair point. By the way, Marion says, Mike, send me the money and I'll show you how to do the money spread. Kenneth says, hey, how about do the dinar spread, Mike?
Yeah, let's hope for that. Right.
Do a Scrooge McDuck and you go swimming in the dinar, perhaps. And Kenneth also saying, Izzy, they're going to cut your hair when you enter the service. Yeah, big day for Izzy in 2 days. We're hoping to maybe watch him on TV.
Yeah, I'm going to get a little haircut later today after this. So it's not nothing too crazy short.
And Venezuelan President Pete Hexas.
I think the more viable spread is going to be the Bolivar spread right now.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Buy
Venezuelan Bolivar if you don't have any.
Wait, did you say buy it?
Oh, yeah. Backed by oil, backed by gold.
Yeah, Regina's got a couple of trillion.
Yeah, and it turns out they have way less silver in Venezuela than they said they did, which is actually going to boost the price of silver. So keep these things in mind. But
silver went over $80 today, I think.
Yeah, I wonder why that is.
I was sent this by one of our regular watchers, probably in the chat. John made a silver, not a round, but a flat. What do you have? Who is that?
It's a Silver Eagle.
Oh, that's it was an upside down. Yeah, they made one for the New American Media. Look at that.
Nice.
Lots of silver engraved.
Back when silver was cheap, back when it was $15 or $20. But okay. All right, moving on.
Izzy, the Buccaneers and the Panthers here.
Yeah, I mean, I saw something pretty funny as saying the NFC South. It's not true, but it was pretty funny. The NFC South is the AFC North, but with the worst PR team. I saw that.
PR team.
Yeah, but I mean, I had a feeling. I mean, I chose the Panthers to win because the one loss. But I had a feeling the Buccaneers were going to win just so the NFL had people to tune into the Saints and Falcons game. And then, the Falcons came out on top. I mean, they're their better team. So
that's interesting because a lot of people said they felt like that game was rigged. The Buccaneers. I mean, they were complaining about how many bad calls went.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. I watched the whole thing. Yeah. A little bit. The rain did play a factor too, but I mean, towards the end, the rain did stop up. But it was some bad officiating, but. It probably was. I mean, just the final game of the season. Just who's going to watch the Falcons Saints game, knowing that both their teams are not going to make the playoffs. So,
well, the development of Tyler Shuck. The development of Tyler Shuck. He turned it around over there, stabilized it, and they played without Olave and they played without Kamara. I mean,
but yeah, I mean, that's two franchises compared to 4 watching a game. So,
right now, the last 6 years, the Bucs are 6-0 against the Panthers at home.
The Bucs are 6-0 in the last 6 years?
At home against the Panthers, yeah.
Okay.
They're 10-2 straight up head-to-head against the Panthers.
Well, let's maybe just bounce over, maybe not too much to say about Saints and Falcons. Mike,
the
Falcons and the Aints.
Well, I think there's a lot to say about this game because it got a coach and a general manager fired, even though they won.
Oh, yeah.
They played hard, and they won the game. I think Tyler Shuck looks like the guy that the Saints need to try to build around. It looks like they got a little something there. So that's something we learned from this game. It was 2 not really great teams, but playing pretty hard. And then after the game, of course, they fired Raheem Morris and they fired Terry Fontenot. And this is really interesting because Morris, I was never wild about him as a head coach. Seahawks interviewed him when we hired Mike McDonald. I was like, please, not Raheem Morris, because I didn't think he did a very good job. I think it was in Denver when he coached there before. I forget where he coached as a head coach. Or was it Tampa?
I think it was Tampa.
Tampa.
Oh, by the way, Mike, it was David Tepper, the Carolina Panthers owner.
Was the owner who threw the beer on the guy, yeah.
But Morris to coach Tampa before Bruce Arians went in.
Right. And but I was surprised. But, Arthur Blank never looked happy when they drafted Michael Penix. Why did we spend all this money on Kirk Cousins and then turn around and draft Michael Penix? But I thought it was the right move. But it's really interesting because I could understand them moving on from Morris. Although I thought he did an okay job. I just don't know if he's a coach who's going to take you to the next level, right? But this Terry Fontenot guy, let's take a look at how he drafted his first-round picks. And here's the thing. If you get your first-round picks correct, Brian, I just shared the screen. If you get your first-round pick right every year, if you get a player who's at or near a Pro Bowl level, you're going to have a successful football team. So look at how he drafted. He drafted in 2021, look at Izzy's face, Kyle Pitts in 2021, Drake London in 2022, Bijan Robinson, maybe the best back in the league, in 2023, Michael Penix in 2024, Jalen Walker, and James Pierce.
James Pierce had 10.5 sacks this year as well.
He had a great season.
Yeah.
So how, and I mean, there are guys who do great with their first round picks. There was the guy who was in Seattle and New Orleans. Why do I not know Terry what his name was? But he did really good in the first round, but then the owner was saying, well, yeah, but you never get any 4th or 5th round pick guys. But if you do this, you draft those, that's a roster you can build on. Those are all good football players. So, and the thing about Penix, I mean, for my opinion, you can never have enough money invested at the quarterback position. It's the quarterback position in the NFL. And Kirk Cousins is not going to be your quarterback in 2 or 3 more years. So I don't have a problem with that pick. But
And by the way, Mike, that whole concept has worked very well for the Green Bay Packers. You draft someone high, you let them sit for a couple of years so they can learn and come in with a chance to succeed.
But
it's not a terrible strategy.
These guys haven't even sat. I mean, are you really going to give up on Penix? I mean, he's injured, and that's a concern. That was a concern coming out of college. But he give up on him. He hasn't even started 20 games yet, I don't think. And he shows some incredible arm talent. So I look at this record, and I'm like, why are you firing this guy? And I think it's got to come back to the fact that Blank, who, by the way, has that 70s porn star mustache, really update your look, pal. I don't care if you're 78 years old. Update your look. I don't get firing the general manager here, except that he must really have been PO'd about the Penix pick, because the rest of this, that's a pretty good roster you can build on.
Yeah.
And so I think it was pretty unfair that Fontenot got fired. And, there are other people who say there's other issues there, but to me, I don't fire a guy who's doing that for me. Because trust me, having John Schneider as our GM and Pete Carroll when they were running things, but I guess it was mostly Pete Carroll, we missed on our first pick for like 7 years in a row. Okay, which is why we went from the Legion of Boom to the Legion of Doom.
Tell it to a Browns fan about missing picks, but I digress.
It's like if you just get your first pick right, you're going to have a good football team. So
were you thinking of Mickey Loomis, by the way, the exec of both teams, Mickey Loomis?
Mickey Loomis, no, it was Randy Mueller. I'm sorry, Randy Mueller.
Okay.
And the Paul Allen, when he came in, he said, well, yeah, you do great with your first round pick, but all your other picks in the fourth, you don't get any guys in the fourth, fifth, and sixth round. Or no, it was the other way around. Your first round picks aren't that great, but your fourth, fifth, and sixth round picks are okay. So Randy Mueller and then Mickey Loomis. But it seems like now the only thing I will say is this on this criticism. The thing about all those picks, Bijan Robinson, all those guys, they're pretty much all top 10 picks. That means the team sucked every year. But is that the GM or is that the coach? And again, I just would like to throw it out for opinions. Again, maybe he got blamed for hiring Raheem Morris, but Raheem Morris may not be a great coach, but he's also not the worst head coach in the NFL. I've heard the guy on the radio, on Sirius XM. And I mean, compared to Mike McDaniel, he's fucking Einstein. So, Mike McDaniel's just, like I said, I don't know what planet that guy's on, much less what he thinks about football. But I don't know. I felt like that was kind of unfair. And what did you guys think?
Yeah, and we'll get to the Dolphins and Tua and all that stuff in a moment. Of course, a storyline down there. Jim, what was your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I think the Fontenot, his firing was probably justified, but I was really surprised to see Raheem Morris get fired. I mean, those guys were playing hard for him. The Falcons won their last 4 football games.
Yeah, I mean, the Falcons and the Saints came on really strong at the end of the year.
The Falcons won their last 4 games, and the guy gets fired. I mean, this was a Marty Schottenheimer move.
But you can also flip that and say that they won their last 4 games after they were eliminated from the playoffs.
Right? Playoffs. Marty Schottenheimer went 14-2 with San Diego, and then he ended up getting fired.
Yeah.
It wasn't that. This wasn't a Schottenheimer magnitude of firing, but it wasn't. I don't think it was justified at all.
You take the opposite position. You would have fired Fontenot, but kept Morris.
Yeah,
and I think
they put too much stock in Penix. And if you draft a quarterback that looks good or semi good in college, you're rolling the dice. Is what you're doing, and they rolled the dice on Penix. Good for them.
And Kirk Cousins probably had a reason to be upset with that. He's like, I just signed here. Give me some tools.
Kyle Pitts is a disappointment. He hasn't played up to his.
Yeah, but he's getting better every year.
He's gotten better. He's also a free agent this year, so it's a possibility he does leave Atlanta.
Good point.
Yeah,
that 4-touchdown game is going to help him. That's 3 touchdown or 4, whatever it was.
3 and 116 yards.
Yeah,
I believe somewhere around there.
And Kyle Pitts had a couple of games that he just He ruined some of my betting slips. He had one game where he had 2 or 3 touchdowns. I forget which game it was, but it blew up my ticket. So I don't know. It's an interesting situation there.
You and Cowherd never bet the Falcons.
Never bet the Falcons. I should have listened. Yeah. That's the thing is, when you do this, you got to ask yourself: Are we gonna come out of this next year as a better off? Who are they going to get? Is Belichick going to go there? What's going to happen?
Hey, if Belichick went there, that'd be raw. I can't lie.
Say that again, Izzy?
I said that'd be nasty if Belichick went there.
Yeah.
I mean, how about Belichick finishing what he started in Cleveland back in 1995 when our team was stolen?
I think he's too old to deal with that team.
Well, anyway, any more thoughts on this one? Who hasn't said their piece? Izzy, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I'm on NFL Twitter. Well, one of the funniest clips I've ever seen was when the GM right there, he drafted Michael Penix, and all the Falcons fans were mad because they just signed Kirk Cousins, and a lot of them, they're like, yeah, it's whatever, but it's like justified. He's done a lot to get to this point. So, but I mean, drafting, yeah, like Mike said, if you're drafting in the top 10, you're a bad team, and top 10 picks shouldn't be bad, but a lot of teams do miss out on how good a player they could get, and it seems like they've gotten at least an A in each one of these drafts. So, and then the head coach too. I mean, in my opinion, he's mediocre, but they can test the market, see who they could get. But like I said before, when the season started, there's no reason you just showed all those draft picks, all those offensive players, and you're not winning games. And in my opinion, there's no way you're not winning games, and it showed this year. So everything, it seems respectable, and hopefully they find some guys for him.
And maybe that's what the owner's looking at. He's saying, we got all these guys that we just drafted. We should be a better team than this. And that's why I let the coach go. I don't know.
Well, let's bounce over to the next game. Indianapolis, man, they were probably favored to be the number 1 seed through the first month or two, just like Baker Mayfield was right at the top of the MVP list. My, oh my, how things can change with injuries because they both got injured. But the Texans took care of business, taking down the Colts, improving to 12-5 on the season, and Houston gets the win here. Mike, what do you think? How tough are the Houston Texans going to be? Uncharacteristic, giving up 30 points on defense, but pretty good team, pretty good showing this year.
Yeah, the defense is good. They're still not getting the most out of C.J. Stroud, who you guys know I love.
Same here.
That's going to be a next year thing. They're going to have to find a new offensive coordinator that fits him better and what he does. But the Colts are the first team in NFL history to start 8-2 and not make the playoffs. So
first in NFL history.
First team in NFL history.
Oh yeah, and like how I mentioned the week prior, Sauce Gardner lost the most games this year.
Sauce Gardner.
He has the first overall pick, technically.
Sauce Gardner. Yeah, I saw this too. Sauce Gardner has played on 2 different teams. I think he played 18 games.
Yes,
but he was eligible for 18 games. Anyway, he only won 2 games this year. Sauce Gardner, 2 wins.
Yeah, he'd get the number 1 pick, I guess, if he was up there. No, it's kind of crazy that, we maybe didn't have a lot of hope for the Texans, and they didn't really start all that strong out of the gate, and they're still not a finished product. But
well, I mean, we were talking about D'Amico Ryans maybe not making it to the end of the season when the season started because they looked so terrible, and then he just completely turned it around. And they have limitations, but they have limitations, the Texans do, and they're limiting their quarterback too much. They're not utilizing him correctly. But that defense is for real, and it's going to keep him in every game.
Yeah, defense is always has a chance to get you far in the playoffs for sure, Jim.
Playoffs.
Yeah.
Playoffs. Yeah, this game opened. The spread in this game opened. This was one of the double-digit favorites. It was 10.5 when it opened. It stayed 10.5 all week at Boyd Sports. I had this game on my money line ticket. Like I said, the Bengals ruined it. But the Texans were expected to win this game. They did win the game. If you had the number on the side, you didn't cash a ticket because the Colts played within the 10.5. So the final score of this game was 30-38. So you missed it by 2.5 points as far as cashing the ticket if you had the Texans on the side. But if you had the Colts as a dog on the ticket, you cashed the ticket as far as the Colts. But the play here was money line Texans.
Well, yeah, and this is one of those things too, Jim, that we talked about, like what happens when the Jaguars clinch, because they were up like 31-3 or something at some point, and the Texans took all their starters out. They took C.J. Stroud out and put in Riley Mills.
Yeah.
And Riley
Yeah,
Leonard,
it's like I said at the beginning of last week. I mean, these teams, they've got TV monitors and they're watching the game. And these two games were played at the same time, the Texans and the Jaguars. If the Texans win the game, I believe they win the division. They win the South. And if the Jaguars lose,
if the Jags lost, yeah, but
right.
when they got up by like 24 points,
because they would have been tied as far as wins were concerned.
Yeah.
But for some reason, the Texans had the tiebreaker, and it's probably because the amount of games they played against the Jaguars. They probably beat
divisional
the Jaguars twice.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure the GM, called down the sideline and said, pull it, pull the building, like building number 7, pull all the starters.
Pull it. We got the Steelers next week.
Yeah.
Lucky Larry. Pull it. Izzy, what do you make of this? Do you think the Texans are a team that you need to kind of prepare for in the AFC?
Yeah, even though this game shows 30-38, their defense has shown that they're pretty much the top 3 defense in the league, and they play like it all year. So you should 100% get ready for them. Besides their offense is the weak point in my opinion. C.J. Stroud, in my opinion, he's a great quarterback. They have receivers. I don't think they're all that good, but they have talented young guys. Two from Iowa, and another one from last year. I'm not sure if Nico Collins is playing, or if he's hurt, or if they just sat him this game. But they have a talented receiving core. But it seems that D'Amico and that coaching staff, they're more defensive oriented than offensively, because C.J. Stroud, he should be able to get the ball to where it needs to be, and they haven't showed it a lot this year. The only time they really allowed it to happen was when Davis Mills was playing. So just really just worry about their defense and just try to limit C.J. Stroud to what he can do, because if the defense is getting stops and if he has a ball in his hands, the points could rack up fast, in my opinion. And
there's another thing floating around about this game, which is that supposedly the Colts are going to try to sign Daniel Jones to a long-term deal in spite of the injury. And they're obviously trying to lock him up at a bargain price, probably something close to a Sam Darnold deal that the Seahawks did 2 or 3 years.
Can you say he deserves it? I mean, I think he deserves it a little bit. I mean, the start of the season, Jonathan Taylor helped him out a lot. I'll put it that way.
Well, yeah, but you know what? I mean, to get someone like a Baker Mayfield, a Sam Darnold, or Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Look, you get a 3-year, $100 million deal. You're not locked into 5 years like Deshaun Watson. You're not 10 years like Patrick Mahomes. It's a nice chunk of it. Look, we can win some games if our defense and our special teams we can win with this guy.
And to me, it's unlikely that the Colts miss the playoffs if Daniel Jones doesn't tear up his Achilles. I mean, I think that they probably win 10 games, maybe 11.
Yeah, and there were some analysts saying, what if they start Riley Leonard instead of what's his name? Phillip Rivers. I mean, he played pretty decent that week, but he was a little banged up.
Well,
so
the argument on that side is Riley Leonard hasn't. Was this the first game that he started?
Yeah, I think first game, another game he came in.
They don't have any tape on Riley Leonard, and the more games that Riley Leonard plays, these teams are going to go to school on Riley Leonard, and they're going to learn his tendencies, and that's why Riley Leonard he showed pretty well in this game, but water seeks its own level here, and they're gonna figure Riley Leonard out. Who knows? He may be really good.
I mean, he's all right. He's nothing special in my opinion. I watched him at Notre Dame. So.
Yeah, you'll know. Yeah, I mean, was Joe Montana predicted to be that good in the NFL? Or did he kind of didn't he over? He excelled more in the NFL than he. What was his ceiling in college? I'm trying to remember. You just got me thinking of Notre Dame quarterbacks.
He wasn't. Well, I don't think Montana was a number 1 pick. I think he went 4 or 5. But he.
Joe Montana went at the end of the 3rd round. The Seattle Seahawks passed on him 3 times.
Oh,
and Joe Montana had an excellent teacher.
So sometimes you get Rick Meyer in the 1st round, and that doesn't go very far. I think didn't you have Rick Meyer too?
It's a Rick Meyer jersey. What are you talking about? This isn't fucking Russell Wilson or Nick Amonwori. This is Rick Meyer.
Nice. Izzy doesn't even know that.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Notre Dame quarterback.
Notre Dame. Rick Meyer went to Notre Dame.
1993. Drew Bledsoe went number 1 overall. He was a Washington State guy. Seahawks.
Was he before or after Dave Craig?
He was after.
Sometimes you draft Brady Quinn, who's a better commentator.
I remember being at a Seahawks game in the Kingdom in like 1994 or 5, right? And I think it was against the Broncos. And Meyer gets the ball, and of course he was really effective as a rookie. But what teams figured out is that he was only effective throwing to the right side. Like going back to his left, he was terrible. Not even rolling to his left, but just he couldn't throw to the left side of the field, right? For some reason, nobody really knows why. So teams started overstacking everything to the right against him. And I remember we were at this game, and he's back there and he's panicking. He's got these dancing feet, and then the back popped out, and it was about 12 yards away from Meyer, and Meyer turns and he throws him the ball, and he throws it literally 5 yards over the guy's head. Like he threw it 20 feet in the air, and Dave turns to me and he goes, "I could have thrown that ball." I go, "Yeah, I could have too." And that was the end of the Rick Meyer.
Yeah, that's a little bit like Serrano in Major League. He can't hit the curveball.
Dude made a fortune. Dude must have made $20 million not playing.
Yeah. Let's bounce to this one. We'll start with Izzy. Izzy, man, you got doubled up by the Giants.
I don't mind at all.
Into this one for this horrible.
I'm happy. Yeah, we lost, but the Giants. I think they were going to have the 1st or 2nd overall pick. They played it down to the. They had the 7th, and then I think a team won, so they went up to the 5th. So now they have a 5th overall pick. I don't mind it at all. And we go up since we lose. We had 15th. Now we're at the 12th.
Yep.
So I don't mind at all. As far Dak Prescott did play a couple snaps. George Pickens played a couple snaps, I think, to get a incentive or something. So as far as the end of the season, like I said, we gave up the 6th most points in NFL history this single season. So that's something to put in account. Top 10 most points scored on an NFL team. And
NFL history. That's not just recent. That's of all time.
Yep.
That's
so, a count of more games as well. You can put it that way too. But
that's
I'm not that mad. I literally just found out during this stream that we fired Matt Eberflus. I'm happy about that.
The Flus.
I'm glad he's gone.
The Flus is loose.
Yeah, they fired him today. I'm surprised they didn't do it earlier in the season, but it's whatever. We're in the market for a defensive coordinator. I'm not mad at Brian Schottenheimer. He's a pretty good coach offensively. He's a pretty good coach. He knows how to draw plays for the talent he has. He made Javonte Williams look good. Our O-line was banged up half the season too, so hopefully next year once we get more pieces and everyone's there, we can see what he can actually do, and that determines his tenure for the Cowboys, how long he'll be a head coach for. So as far as that, I'm not mad. Go out in the draft, 2 first-round picks. Hopefully the Packers lose week 1, get bounced out, have close to back-to-back first-round picks. So, I'm not mad about that loss at all.
I know, and as a Browns fan, it's like you want to see fight, you want to win some games, but really, if it's the difference between a generational difference of picking a higher player that's going to change your team, is it worth it? I don't know. Culture versus throwing darts on the dartboard, Mike. I don't know.
It's not like we're a bad team, so it really doesn't matter that much for us to lose.
Look, they're over the cap. There's not a lot of guys looking at their cap they can really cut and make any room. But they'll do some restructuring and stuff.
Do you think it's possible we re-sign George Pickens?
Oh yeah, I think that's why Jerry met with him. There was last week. I think we talked about how Jerry had taken him to dinner, or they were talking, or met with him, not his agent. So yeah, Jerry wants him back, and you guys need that extra weapon.
We could also franchise tag him, if anything. I mean, that's a bad move, but we can also franchise tag him too.
So I mean, really, they've just got to continue to just bring in more defensive players.
Yeah, and this class is deep for defensive players.
Yeah.
A lot of Ohio State guys, we might land one of them. So I'm not mad at that at all. So
yeah, and I mean, and Schottenheimer, he was the head coach during Let Russ Cook in 2020 before Pete Carroll took all the options away from Russ to do that stuff. That was when they were averaging 31.4 points per game, and Russ had he had 40 touchdowns that year in spite of them pulling the plug on the offense halfway through the season. They had a 7-2 record when Pete pulled the plug, and of course we ended up 12-4. Whatever. All I know is that Shotty is a good offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
I know Russ loved him. And maybe Russ will end up as a backup in Dallas next year. I don't know. It's possible. But it's interesting because I've been reading people say he's going to have offers. He's going to have a couple offers to choose from as a.
Oh yeah, the money's going to be flowing in for him. I mean, respect. It depends if he wants to stay with CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott, or if he just wants the money.
Well, Dak gets injured every year, so why not have a guy like Russ come in behind him? It's better than the other options you got.
So they got
to keep building the defense. They got to definitely just invest on the defensive side of the ball in the offseason and see what happens.
Yeah.
Jim, Cowboys, Giants.
Yeah, I think letting Eberflus go. In fact, I think down at the racing sports books here in Vegas, I think they've got Eberflus plus 180, to go to the Raiders. But
wow,
that would be
as the head coach.
Oh yeah. That'd be a Raider move, wouldn't it?
Wow.
But anyway, this game opened at 5.5. It was bet down to 3.5, and this was the consummate game that we talked about last week as far as keeping your money in pocket. Because going into this game, the Cowboys 15-1 straight up against the Giants, 15-1 straight up against the Giants. And the Giants, they end up winning the game 34-17. Week 17, 18. Don't make those kind of bets. And the trend that the point spread went, it opened at 5.5, was immediately bet down to 3.5. That told you that the sharps were on the Giants in this game. So, yeah, save your money. That's not true about Eberflus, by the way, going to the Raiders.
Yeah, I was looking for it. So.
Hey, Mike.
Tom Brady's looking to put his stamp on things. I know Kevin Stefanski has. They're saying he's got his pick of the litter. I don't know. I mean, we'll just see how it goes.
Well, yeah, we'll talk Raiders. We'll talk Raiders and Ravens when we get to the Raiders and the Ravens.
All right, let's bounce over to this next one. I mean, Green Bay in the playoffs, losing 3-16 to the Vikings. Any thoughts on this one? I mean, how hard was Green Bay really?
They weren't. They pulled their starters. They didn't play the game seriously. And this is why I hate 17-week seasons. I want 16 was perfect. 32 teams is perfect, and 16 games is perfect. Let's go back to it. Let's make football perfect again. Get rid of 2 preseason games. I'm fine with that.
Are you sure you don't just have some sort of prejudice against Clayton Tune?
Yeah, Clayton Tuna.
Tune.
And then JJ McCarthy, he couldn't even make it through the game. This is the 4th time he's been injured this year. 4th time in his career, 3rd time this year. So Vikings, you're in the quarterback business, guys. You better go find somebody because they're wasting the window that defense and Jefferson and Jordan Addison are giving them. They're wasting it.
Yeah, but they're saying we might get Brian Flores from the Vikings defense, right? That's where he's at now.
Here's the thing. I don't trust Brian. If I'm an owner, I can't believe Brian Flores is on anybody's list, because here's a guy who either did what he called out his owner in Miami. He claimed that the owner told him to tank games. The owner says, that's not true. I never told him any such thing. So here's the thing. Brian Flores either lied when he said that the owner said that, or he lied on a weekly basis to the press when he never told them. Like, if my owner comes to me and says, I want you to deliberately lose games, a man of integrity is going to come out and say, I have to resign or something because the owner is telling me to lose games. I mean, if that's true, that's what he should have done. And then you have the complete chaos there. His coaches hated him. A bunch of his players hated him.
Was that lawsuit ever settled, Mike?
No, they're still fighting it. They're still going through.
And they're considering this guy a head coaching position.
There's no question he can coach, but he needs to be a defensive coordinator. I mean, I wouldn't touch him as a head coach.
It's not like the Browns' defensive coordinator isn't a great defensive coordinator. Why would we swap him out for someone with all that?
That's a lateral move for him too. I mean,
I don't.
But to me, it's the chaos in Miami that it, with the owner and with the players and with the other coaches, that's going to hold him back. But I do think somebody's going to hire him.
But I mean, look, on the flip side, we all know that people tank. We all know that the Browns traded away every single asset, bought every draft pick, did the relaunch with Myles Garrett, then Baker Mayfield and Denzel. You sometimes got to empty everything out to hit reset. I don't know. I don't know that tanking or talking about tanking is the worst sin imaginable, but you're airing family business publicly.
You don't say that stuff out loud if you want to keep your job. And I think what happened probably is he realized the gun was pointed at his head and he was probably going to get canned. So it was like a preemptive strike.
Trying to save his ass type thing.
Yeah, but it didn't work. But I mean, he's kind of like Dion and Shadur. There's a certain degree of chaos. In Cleveland, do you want the additional chaos of Brian Flores on top of Dion and Shadur? Wow.
Don't look now, but why wouldn't you consider Shadur Sanders to be the head coach in Cleveland? If you roll with the kid, who's better to coach him? He was a head coach at a major program in college. He's an NFL Hall of Famer. Two sides of the ball.
Coach? Do we know? I mean, college is different. Can he really coach? We don't know.
What if you let Jim Schwartz handle the defense? You try to get the most out of your son on offense. You draft some offensive linemen and some playmaking wide receivers. Could it get worse?
I mean, as far as a head coach, an NFL head coach, that's a completely different jump from college. The only upside you have getting Shadur Sanders is, not Shadur, Dion is. Yeah. He knows his son. Yeah. He knows his weaknesses. He knows his strengths. That's about it. Besides that, I'm not sure if he can coach an NFL team. As far as defensive backs,
that's a good statement. That's correct. Yeah, he knows his son, but and he knows defense and.
I question the work ethic, too. Is Dion really willing to work as hard as you have to work to be an NFL head coach, to be a successful one? Because these guys are in there at 4:30 in the morning. They don't go home until 9 o'clock at night. Sometimes they sleep in the facility. I don't think that's Dion's style. I think college is good for him because it's more casual. You don't work those kind of hours. But, man, if you're going to be successful in the NFL, you got to have that commitment. And I'm not sure that Dion really wants to work that hard.
Yeah, that's possible. I don't know. It's actually not the weirdest idea I've considered. And he would have the respect of people like the Hall of Famers like Myles Garrett. Like Dion's been there. He's done that at the absolute highest level. Who the hell's Kevin Stefanski? An offensive guru that can never score points, that always ends up having a power struggle where he loses play calling duties because he can't put the ball in the end zone. I don't know. At this point, I'm almost willing to try anything.
You have not had stability at the quarterback position in Cleveland for 5 years.
Since Baker. I miss Baker.
I know you do. We talk about it every week.
Every week. Any final thoughts on Packers, Vikings, gentlemen, around the horn, anyone?
No, not the actual game, no.
All right, let's bounce to the next one. We touched on this. We don't need to spend a ton of time here, but Jacksonville and Tennessee Titans. Jacksonville steamrolled them. 3 touchdowns for Trevor Lawrence. They win 41-7 over the Titans, Mike.
Not much to say about this. The game came out the way it should have. The Jaguars went out to win the division, get their playoff seat set. They did it. They did the job. They are really on a roll, and they're looking good going into the playoffs. So good for them.
Absolutely.
Good defense. Trevor Lawrence playing well, and imagine if they had Travis Hunter healthy.
Yeah, that would help a lot, Jim.
They'd be dangerous. They are dangerous. They beat the Broncos in Denver, so they're dangerous.
Yeah, not easy to do. Jim, what say you?
Hope you can run.
Yeah, this was an easy bet. I mean, the Titans were 9-24 against the spread, going into this game. There wasn't a lot of stats on this game, but the Jaguars 13.5-point favorite. They opened at 11.5, and they were bet all the way up to 13.5. So just a lot of money coming in on the Jags. 41-7. They won convincingly. I was just trying to figure out an angle here in this game how we could segue to the Browns from this game, but I don't think there's a way in there. So.
Well,
yeah, not a lot.
Jim, the way to do that would be to reference that the Browns had their eye on Cam Ward last year. Titans are drafting up higher with a 3-14 record.
There you go, Mike. He figured it out.
Trying to figure out which quarterbacks will be available since we're in the market. Do we think that the Titans would want to stick with Cam Ward, or maybe are they looking at the other two coming out? I don't know. Izzy, what say you?
All I gotta say is when there's an NBA player or NFL player that's really good and his team's bad, you call them friends, ex and friends. So Cam Ward and friends, he rolls out each weekend with his teammates. His number one receiver is I can't even remember his name. Nick Enwar, something like that. Yeah, and
Alec Aomayan.
Yeah, Alec Anwar. Oh. Absolute guy who'd be a fourth stringer on any other team is the wide receiver 1 for the Tennessee Titans. And their first round picks for the past 4 years have been bad. I mean, last year they got a really good offensive lineman, but before that they tried getting an offensive lineman, a corner, Caleb Farley, Skronowski, I think that's the guard's name, and one's out of the league, the other one's super bad. And the defense is non-existent. They lost Harold Landry last year. They're pretty much, I'm just saying, Cam Ward has 0 supporting cast. I mean, he was a first-round pick for a reason. Yeah. I mean, you should somewhat expect that. But for what he did, I mean, you could turn on the highlights, pull up the stats. I mean, he didn't play bad at all. I mean, me personally, I still believe he's the best QB talent out of that draft, best potential. But with the supporting cast like that, there's nothing he could really do. What he's going to go through another head coach or two, offensive coordinator or two before they start getting things rolling down in Tennessee. So, me personally, I mean, I don't see them getting questioning him until the next 3 to 4 years, in my opinion. I mean, that's me personally. So,
yeah. Well, the thing is, and it doesn't look like where they're drafting. Where are they drafting?
4. Yeah. I say they could go out and get the guy from Ohio or Arizona, the receiver, get him a target.
Right. I think Mendoza goes number 1. I think the Oregon quarterback goes number 2 if he comes out. I don't think there's one there anyway. So they're looking at, they're looking. Why not get the wide receiver? Like you say, why not get the Ohio State wide receivers?
Arnell Tate.
So, yeah. They just lack talent. They just
exactly. And you turn on the game, he's running around like a duck.
Yeah.
In the backfield. So. Not much you could do.
Can I just say something super weird? As I just pulled up the NFL draft order, of course, it's going to be Raiders 1, Jets 2, Cardinals 3, Titans 4, Giants 5, Browns 6, Commanders 7, Saints 8. The Chiefs and the Browns were separated by 1 win this year. Can I get the Kansas City Chiefs and the Cleveland Browns were separated by 1 game of difference at the final season record? That is insane to me. I know I was calling a downfall of the Chiefs, but I don't know that I saw it that big.
Well, I'll tell you something. I went to the Chiefs-Raiders game, and we'll talk about that a little bit when we get to it.
Well, I can pull that one up now if you want. Go ahead.
Well, okay. I got the tickets for $50. Me and Dave went. We just wanted to go to Allegiant Stadium again, try the beer, try the food. I recommend the nachos. The nachos are good if you can find those. and a very friendly staff, very cute Las Vegas girls to talk to there. But the Chiefs don't have shit on that team. Their roster is awful.
I chose the Raiders to win last week. I mean, I knew it that the whole team morale's down. I mean, I kind of felt like it was going to happen.
You can get Geno Smith jerseys really cheap now in the Raiders store. Did you see Geno already took down every reference to the Raiders off of all of his Instagram?
Well, he wasn't even at the game, was he, Mike?
You can find a jersey at Goodwill.
He was deactivated. Yeah, he was deactivated, but I don't know if he came to the game. Max Crosby came to the game and accepted an award. But it's really interesting because when you watch the Chiefs, and they probably rested a lot of guys, but they had some of their what's his name? Chris Jones played, I believe.
Yeah.
And guys like that, and they really do not have much in the way of talent on Kansas City, except Travis Kelce, who Travis could not have looked more disinterested in that game.
Yeah.
And
he's on the older end too.
Yeah, and I mean, outside of that, I mean, it struck me to the degree to which Mahomes has carried that team this year, especially, really sat in with me, because without Mahomes, they're nothing. They're shit. They're dog shit. They're a 4-win team.
Yep.
And so I came away with more appreciation for Mahomes. It's kind of like, again, to bring up Russ again, it's kind of like a few years in Seattle, where if it wasn't for Russ, they were a 10, 12 win team with Russ. They would have been a 4-win team without him. And so I came away with an appreciation for Mahomes. Having said that, they have a long rebuild going, and I wonder if Andy Reid's going to stick around for it. And
I mean, we talked about this before. My bad, but Andy Reid, I don't see him coaching anymore after this point. Not maybe this season, but the next season or two. Like I said, even if he wants to give it up this year, they should give the head coaching job to Spagnuolo. Keep him there, because if you keep Andy Reid, he's going to go. He's going to go try to make some money somewhere else. So, I mean, that's in the ballpark.
He'll join Lamar in the booth.
But the other thing is, the Raiders are so terrible. It's so terrible. These were two terrible football teams and played a terrible game.
And Brock Bowers was sitting out, and so was Max Crosby. Like, you were seeing backups.
And he played. He got 87 yards. You didn't even know he was on the field, really. Jamal Adams had a couple of plays, acting like a badass. It looks like his career is over. I don't needed to be fired. He should never have come back. His ego got the better of him. It was pathetic to watch, to tell you. It was Pete Carroll. I don't know if you guys remember, and Izzy doesn't know this, but there was a famous American named Bobby Fischer who won the World Chess Championship in 1972. He beat Boris Spassky, the longtime Russian world champion. Very famous at that time. It's kind of like when the U.S. Olympic hockey team beat the Russians. Okay, it was that much of an upset, and Fischer
1980 for that one.
Badly. And it's like, but then years later, there was a rematch. 10 years later, somebody paid them to have a rematch. And everybody came away saying, that was fun to watch, but they're playing 1970s chess. Same thing applies here. Pete Carroll is out there playing 2009, 2010 football, and it's 2025. And it just, please, Pete, just gracefully retire and let it go. Now, I got another idea. I was going to bring it up when we talked about the Ravens. Well, I'll
I was thinking about it too. What are you going to bring up, Lamar?
Yeah, because Brady expressed a lot of admiration for Lamar.
He loves Lamar. Yeah,
take the trade. What would it cost?
Well, okay, so Max Crosby is on the outs with the organization.
Oh, superstar for superstar swap.
So they got the number 1 overall pick. So Fernando Mendoza is there, and then, or you could pick the Oregon quarterback, but I think most people think Mendoza is better. So let me propose a trade and see what you guys think about this, because I just checked the Ravens, and a lot of Ravens fans want Harbaugh fired after their meltdown.
We'll take him.
It's 2 or 3 days later. He hasn't been fired.
Yeah,
so I don't think he's going to get fired, but it's going to come down to Lamar or Harbaugh. If you saw the video, there's video of Lamar walking into the locker room and he has his gloves or whatever, and he fires him at the Ravens logo, like, fuck you, right?
Yeah.
In front of the cameras. So Lamar knew he was doing this. So it's
I sent that tweet to the group chat last night. Where he a fan reacted to the kick and he retweeted it and commented SMH, shaking my head like what are we doing? So
I mean, he's like, why did we get rid of Justin Tucker? Because honestly, the Justin Tucker accusations against him are unproven. There's no evidence that any of this stuff actually happened. So they gave up the kicker. They bring this guy in. He misses the game-winning field goal. They get knocked out of the playoffs. Now you get all the jokes about going to Cancun. Lamar was pissed. So this reminds me of 2022 Seattle, Russ versus Pete. So it looks to me like the Ravens are going to keep Harbaugh. I mean, he's won them a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And Lamar hasn't. So let's pretend that there's a trade out there. I got this proposal. If the Raiders give up number 1 overall for Mendoza and send Max Crosby to the Ravens for Lamar, and they get the 14th pick in the draft back, which is where the Ravens are picking. I believe they're picking 14th.
Yeah, 14. Yeah, they are.
So, because it's not that great a draft. Some people are saying there's only 15 or 16 actual first-round pick players.
You never know.
So,
yeah.
But, I mean, that gives the Ravens a quarterback in the future. They can re-sign Tyler Huntley, who played great when he came in for Lamar. Re-sign him to be the bridge quarterback. Draft Mendoza, number 1 overall. Bring him along.
Max Crosby.
And add Max Crosby. I mean, if I'm the Ravens, I think I'm making that deal if Lamar wants to
go.
And
how much leverage do you think Lamar has in the say of where he wants to go?
What is the contract situation? Is he where is he at? A total free agent coming up?
Who?
Lamar?
No, I could have sworn they signed him like a year or two ago. They had a controversy.
Yeah,
like
but it's been a weird contract thing with him. I forgot.
Lamar's under contract for next year, but they have $28 million in cap space. If you trade Lamar prior to 6/1, you actually save $17 million under the cap if you're the Ravens. So it's the perfect time to trade Lamar. And maybe they just think Lamar's not going to win the big games for them, although I don't know how you can blame Lamar for what happened on Sunday night.
No, not at all.
Everything.
No.
Why didn't Lamar kick the football last night?
Yeah. We should have had Lamar. Great. So, I mean,
that is true. By the way,
I look at this trade and I'm thinking this could happen because then the Raiders can still take an offensive lineman or something with the first pick with the 14th.
Or they could trade back and get 2. Maybe, possibly.
Justin Tucker was on that team. They would have won that game.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I think everybody knows that.
All right, so what do you guys think of my trade proposal?
Okay, let me qualify the trade proposal by adding this point. So he is under contract. He signed a 5-year $260 with the Ravens in April of 23. So he's running through the 27 season,
right?
Which is only next year. As of January 26, he has 2 years remaining. 26 and 27.
Well, he has 28 and 29, but I think those are just void years to just waste. To just fix the cap.
The only benefit for Lamar going to Vegas is that he's going to get a bump in pay.
Yeah.
There's no state income tax in the state of Nevada, and Maryland is horrendous, as far as taxes go.
Yeah.
And
he
Fernando Mendoza, if I'm Fernando Mendoza's daddy, I'm pulling an Archie Manning.
Yeah.
And saying, you ain't going to San Diego.
Well, yeah.
And
Lamar,
who wants to go to the Raiders? In my opinion, they could get a head coach, but like I said, how much of a
the only benefit to going to the Raiders is a financial benefit.
Yeah, the financial, yeah.
But players go to the Raiders to die. I mean,
yeah.
Sit here all day and
Tom Brady's going to sit down with Lamar and say, I know how to build around a quarterback. I am the best quarterback ever. I'm going to build around you. And I think Lamar's going to listen. I think Lamar's going to go. And they'll probably give him a brand new deal out of it, too, where he's one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league, which he should be based on that performance the other night. So, I don't know. What do you think about the mechanics of the trade, though?
I mean, it makes sense a little bit. The Ravens, my bad. The Ravens defense, they do need help. They do need someone on the D-line. They could roll out with a new quarterback, but the way I feel is when we had Mike McCarthy as head coach and Dak Prescott at quarterback.
Yeah.
It's like we go to the playoffs and we've had Dak Prescott for X amount of years, and it's how much longer can you go to a certain point in the season, make it to the playoffs, have the same player, and get the same result? And I wouldn't blame a lot of these games on Lamar, especially in the playoffs. Maybe last year. Last year I would, in the year before, but it's saying that you're going to go into a new season with Derrick Henry, Lamar, and John Harbaugh. How is the same thing going to happen? You might just need a scenery change, and that's what I believe.
Why not change it up? And Tyler Huntley looked a lot like Lamar. I mean, Tyler Huntley looked really good.
Damn near the same play style, but Lamar does it way better, of course.
Lamar does do it better, but you're going to drop down 20% on offense, but you're going to gain 20% on defense with Max Crosby, and you have your next quarterback lined up. So if John Harbaugh wants to continue being a head coach, I think it makes a lot of sense.
And they could go out and get another receiver too.
How unhappy?
It's up to them.
How unhappy do we think Lamar is on the Ravens, and why? Like, what is the main thing?
He's ready to go.
Because why are you convinced of that?
Because the behavior after the game
he's mad after a game. That's not a big deal.
But
I'd be mad
there have been reports of stress and tension in that organization with Lamar for the last year. He's frustrated.
Like I said, I'd be mad too, because how much more, besides a receiver, how much more can you make that offense better? You have one of the wildest backfields you can ever have. A mobile quarterback with Derrick Henry, a pretty darn good O-line, serviceably good tight ends, Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely. The only problem that I say that's been lingering on that offense is they don't have a legitimate big receiver to play the outside.
Well, Zay Flowers.
They got Zay Flowers, but he's like 5'10".
Yeah,
he's good, but like he runs side to side. You need someone who could go out there and get that catch like Isaiah Likely did on 4th down against the Steelers.
Huge.
And
what a game!
Yeah, awesome game. We'll talk about it, but like I said, it's not much more you can do with that offense. And like I said, you just need a scenery change. But my biggest takeaway is, the Raiders could do that, of course, GM everything in hands, but does Lamar's mom go out and say, oh, he doesn't want to play for the Raiders, or, oh, I don't want to play for the Raiders, and if that trade is proposed?
Does Lamar have a veto on his contract?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, that would be weird.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I could understand being frustrated, especially when you're middling around 500 all season. You've had some injuries this year, and you can't seem to crack through in the play. Like, frustration, but he's talented. I get it. That's kind of a wild trade proposal. Maybe both sides would be okay with it.
Max does one out too. So
is there any universe where they could do it?
Balances really well. It's a really good balance,
Yep.
Is there any universe where they could do it without including Max Crosby, where it's a ton of 1st-round picks, some other stuff?
Well, yeah, but do you really want to do that if you're the Raiders? I mean,
Max Crosby, he showed that he doesn't.
Max Crosby's been in the league for 6 or 7 years. He deserves a chance.
He wants to win. Same thing as Myles Garrett. So
it's like me and Dave were talking when we were leaving the stadium. It's like Max Crosby's been in the NFL for 7 years. He's never played in a playoff game.
And
never once.
And weren't you guys talking about like 2 weeks ago that when Max Crosby, when they shut him down for the season, the point change was like 3 points, 2 points, or something like that. Yeah. Like he's valuable on the defensive side. So,
well, let me do this. Let me pivot to that game. The Ravens. The Ravens were bested by the Steelers. You two have been talking about the trade for a while, so we'll start with Jim. Mix it up here. Jim, this thing was back and forth, missed a kick. This game sort of had it all. This was a great way to close out the season. And I read a stat, something that you may not have been aware of. I think in the history of football, Tyler, what's his name? Loop.
Loop. Yep.
It was the first kick that ended a final game on a final season that could have put you in the playoffs, but like it's the first time that's ever happened as time expired and it determined a playoff winner. I mean, this game sort of had it all. It was a hell of a fun game to watch to wrap up the regular season. What did you take away from it? What did you walk away with, other than all the excitement?
There was a lot of firsts in this game. One of the firsts is something Mike and I were talking about right after the game. Chris Boswell, that was the first extra point that Boswell missed in 2 years. December of 23 was the last time that he missed an extra point, and that extra point was critical because
crucial.
I mean, if you look, the game ended 24-26, and by the way, this was our pick of the week. Steelers as a dog. This was the only straight game that I picked all week. I had 2 tickets. I had the 16 parlay, which your Browns destroyed, the first game, on that ticket, but all the other 5, were money line picks, and they all covered. But I just that's my fault. I got greedy and had to put the Bengals on there. But this was our pick of the week was Steelers as a dog against the Ravens, and the reason that is when the Ravens and the Steelers play, the underdog is 19-3-1 against the spread. 19-3-1. They always play within a field goal. But when Boswell missed that extra point, I mean, there was just a lot of firsts, and it's like Izzy said, earlier. If Justin Tucker was playing this game, I think the Ravens would have won the game. Would they have covered the 3.5? Not necessarily. I mean, when this game got down to under 2 minutes, we were cashing tickets. The only way I lose this game is if the Ravens get crazy and they go ahead and try for a touchdown instead of that field goal that they attempted and they missed. But
so crazy.
Another side note to this, talking about John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh is the second longest tenured coach in the NFL. He's got 18 years with the Ravens. And who's the first tenured coach in the NFL?
The other coach in the game.
Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
So the AFC Central has got the number 1 and number 2 coach as far as being with their teams the longest. And Mike Tomlin has never had a season where he is under 500.
Jumping into the AFC North thing about the coaches, we sort of glossed over it. Are we surprised that the Bengals aren't switching their head coach, by the way?
I'm not surprised. I mean, you lose Burrow. Come on. Zach Taylor is a good offensive coach.
Yeah.
So stick with him. And
he is very beat up in Cleveland sports media. Very maligned.
No, he's not a bad coach.
No.
He knows how to use the pieces around him. I mean, very high at all pieces. But, yeah, I'm back on topic, though. It would have been the same situation if the Steelers lost. The fans would have been calling for Mike Tomlin's head.
Yeah.
Because it's like you get your 500 record. Now what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Well, they were calling for his head all season, especially
in the
middle of the season, and then the Steelers started winning again. And
I have a friend who's a Steelers fan, and he actually hates our Arthur Smith.
Arthur Smith is a terrorist
coach, but he blames Tomlin for not firing him and going with somebody different. So
my bad. It was the funniest thing when the Steelers, they went from Matt Canada. When I tell you that when Steelers fans, I had a friend who was a Steelers fan, but like you go online, the things you'd see about Matt Canada, and then for them to go to Arthur Smith, where the Falcons fans were doing the same thing, that was the funniest thing ever. And it's like, why would you do that?
What is it, like you exchange like for like? It was a lateral move. You didn't get.
Yeah, exactly. You went ass for ass, pretty much. So I mean,
Arthur Smith's daddy owns FedEx.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I did not know that.
A couple of other things. That field, Heinz Field, is the worst field for kickers in the NFL.
Oh wow.
It is a terrible field
because of the turf or the wind or both.
The wind and the turf. And the rain, and it doesn't handle rain. I don't know if you guys remember, but when they first opened this place the first season, there was a monsoon, and a guy punted the ball, and stuck in the ground. It just went into the grass and didn't come out, right? And that field is shit. It's always been shit. It's the worst field out there in the NFL. They actually should require them to take the grass out and put field turf in because it's awful.
Well, Mike texted me at the end of the game that defensive back for the Ravens. I mean, his knee buckled underneath the turf.
Well, the last touchdown, the game-winning touchdown. The defensive back sees the route. He's got the guy covered, and he goes to take a step, and a chunk of turf 3 feet wide tears up under his foot. He slips. The guy's wide open. The touchdown, and that's how the Steelers win the game.
Like his right foot was a pitching wedge. I mean,
exactly.
It's just a big chunk of turf out of the field.
That field is a disaster, so that played a factor too, and that's just bad luck. But goodness gracious, so I don't blame the kickers that much because that field sucks.
But that was our pick of the week, boys.
The only worst field I think is the Redskins field. That's good God, what a mess that is.
Another thing too, did you guys see the kicker's wife? Her Instagram.
No.
When I tell you, Gen Z and how they take losses is pretty funny because if you go on her Instagram post, her latest one was him and her getting married or something like that, and there's more comments than likes, so you already know it's bad. And it's just the fans going to town in those comments, and it's wild. And I'm like,
but what's the context? In what like what were they?
What do you mean?
Like what were they hammering them on about? What was?
They were like, oh, you still have time to disclose the marriage. Your husband sucks. Blah blah blah. Worst kicker in the league. Just them going to someone they know that he knows and just bashing him in the comments. It's pretty funny, but it's messed up too. Some of the things that they're saying. So.
Social media is a beautiful.
Yeah, social media. I mean, fans go crazy.
Yeah, you guys wonder why I'm not on Twitter.
Speaking of which, we got to get you a burner account. We'll get that squared away pretty soon. All right, let's keep it moving here. Rams beat the Cardinals. Cardinals fire their coach.
You'll hear from my lawyer, Brian.
Maybe I'll use a picture of Sean Alexander. Is that what you're using on the?
No. Google him. It's my best friend. He lives in Northern California. His name is Wendell Phillips. Google him. He's my attorney.
Oh, no. I mean, okay. We'll put a picture of your attorney on your burner profile. How about that? That would be meta. Mike, talk about this one here. The Rams get the win, and the Cardinals are looking for a new coach.
Rams didn't really turn out to need this game. Kyler, made it very clear that he liked this coach, but Kyler didn't really help him very much. So, not much to say about the game itself. Pretty common game. If I was the Rams, I wouldn't have played my starters as long as they did, but they did. I mean, Matthew Stafford had 45 dropbacks, and as great as he's been this year, and he'll probably win the MVP, I wouldn't be letting him throw 45 times in a game that you had locked up fairly early. I don't know. I feel like McVay kind of just has an attitude there. He's like, well, I'm going to play my guys. We're going to play to win. You play to win the game, as Herm Edwards said. So kind of a weird game. But I got another trade proposal for you to discuss.
All right. I'm here for it.
I mean, Mike McDaniel, Tua said Mike McDaniel told him he's not guaranteeing he's the quarterback next year. Tua's going to want to leave. What do we think about Tua for Kyler swap? I mean, both guys need a fresh start. Maybe
we've been talking about this.
Yeah. What do you think? I mean, it's right there.
I like it.
It can be done under the cap. I already checked the cap numbers. They work for both teams. So.
I mean.
Go ahead, Izzy.
No, what were you going to say, Brian?
I was throwing it to Jim, but what was your thought?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Tua gets out of it's still warm weather, but he goes to Arizona on the West Coast. So better division to play in. Way better division to play in versus going to New England, New York. So Kyler Murray, they both play better in my opinion, but Kyler Murray, he might do a lot more with his supporting cast. I mean, they're already a fast team. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and Devin Achane, and pairing the 5'10" speedster quarterback back there. I mean, it could change up the offense a lot, but as far as Mike McDaniel being the head coach, I don't know how much it changes because Tua is more of a pocket drop back, get it to your playmakers kind of quarterback. So it's whatever. I like the trade though. I mean, just change the scenario for quarterbacks. You got to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it just gives both guys a fresh start. So
yeah, a well needed fresh start for sure. JT Beach Guy says, I agree, Mike. That field sucks. It is not good. Jim, what do you say about the trade proposal? What do you think about that?
Well, Tua would just be jumping out of the pan into the fire. I mean, he would go to a much stronger division, and the Cardinals would.
Wait, is it much? Why would you say it's much stronger? You got the Bills and the Patriots. Like, it can't get worse than that. I mean, I guess
his only advantage is he's probably going to have a lot less snow games, like Izzy said. He's not going to have to. The East Coast is just notorious, for
crappy weather.
Two is going
crappy weather. He's going to go.
Kyler is.
Santa Clara's never got bad weather unless it's raining. The worst case scenario, he's going to go up to Seattle, and it's going to be raining. And
it never rains.
That's one game a year, but it's you just never know. It just depends on the draw that your particular division has.
Yeah.
If you're drawing the NFC Central, to play that year, you're screwed for 2 games, until, Chicago moves to Indiana.
Chicago moves to Indiana?
Oh, yeah. They're going to move
that's right.
Yeah, they're trying to make that deal. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no corrupt deals in Chicago.
Yeah, isn't that a beauty? That's Illinois, that's
Indiana
Illinois.
Bears. I like it.
Unreal.
Pritzker's got his fingers in that.
Yeah, of course. Well, Jim, what did you think of this game? Any thoughts on this? Rams, obviously 4 touchdowns for Stafford, no picks, probably MVP, but anything?
Yeah, this was a safe bet. 20-37 was the final score. Rams opened 9.5 in this game. They were bet down to 7.5, and then immediately it went back up to 8.5. So the sharps were telling you who was going to win this game, and they won it comfortably. The Rams are pretty dominant over the Cardinals. They're 8-3 straight up versus the Cardinals. Rams are a real good team in December. They're 18-4 against the spread. Stafford is 17-4 straight up December and January. The only the bugaboo in this game was what the Rams had played Monday Night Football the week before, so they were 1 day short of getting any type of practice. But we're talking about practice. We're not talking about a real game here.
Not a game. We're talking about practice, man. Practice.
But the Rams were all over the Cardinals in this, and it was. Even though I told everybody to keep their money in their pocket this week, this game was on my money line, or my 6-teamer. I had the Rams, but not to beat a dead horse, but the Bengals screwed that ticket up.
Izzy, what did you make of this? This is your backyard team.
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever. I kind of understand Sean McVay. He's the type of coach to go out there and play his guys after a loss like that. But the biggest thing that doesn't affect record or anything is just a media thing. Is that analysts and fans are like, oh, Matthew Stafford went out and stat padded against the Arizona Cardinals, and there was a thing about how the Jets gave up. They didn't have a single interception this year. A single interception this year.
Hold on. You're saying what?
The Jets did not force a single turnover as far as the quarterback throwing the ball and taking it off.
The Jets had Izzy's right. The Jets had no interceptions on defense at all.
0 interception take.
The irony of that is their head coach Aaron Glenn was a defensive back in the NFL.
Yeah, and I don't know how Aaron Glenn is still there. I think Aaron Glenn needs to go back to the Lions and be.
I'm just looking at that, going, how is he not fired 3 days later? I mean, 2 days later, one of the worst teams, if not the worst, one of the really bad teams in the league, top 3 bad teams.
Another stat: the Jets were outscored in the month of December by 107 points.
Oh my God!
Should we just jump to the Jets? Any other final thoughts?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but like I was saying, the biggest takeaway was that people were pushing the Drake May MVP thing, and even Tom Brady came out and said Matthew Stafford deserves it. But Drake May and Mitchell Trubisky went out there and scored 6 TDs leaning into this game. I think how many TDs did he score? 4, somewhere around there. 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh.
And
Drake May went out there and stat padded against the New York Jets 2 times a year. And another funny part, quarterbacks that played the Jets this year threw 3,600 passing yards and 36 touchdowns to 0 interceptions. So if you played a whole season against the Jets, you probably would have won MVP.
Wow. And they used to call in Detroit, his nickname used to be Matthew Pad Your Statsford. That's what they used to call him. He's always padding his stats at the end of the game. And there was a lot of unhappy Detroit fans that he actually won a Super Bowl with the Rams. But was
it padding his stats, or just the Lions were usually trailing, so they had 80 yards to go?
They would argue he put up a lot of his numbers in garbage time.
And a big thing too is that they were saying Matthew Stafford and Devontae Adams 1-yard pass and touchdowns. That look how many 1-yard passing TDs he had. Aaron Rodgers did the same thing with 2 of his 4 MVPs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just a unneeded controversy that the media is trying to make up just to push Drake May agenda.
All right. Well, on this game, Mike, what did you take away from Bills Jets here? I mean,
well, again, same things as he just talked about. I mean, and it's like I don't see how the Jets have not fired Aaron Glenn and moved on. They're in a position to possibly draft a quarterback here,
number 2 overall.
And if they can convince the Oregon guy to come out, they've got to get an offensive-minded head coach in there. Aaron Glenn was a disaster. You can't be a defensive coach and a defensive back and have a team that goes 17 games and has 0 interceptions. And it just doesn't work. And it's not like Sauce Gardner was an interception machine. He doesn't pick balls off anyway either. So it's like they need a complete restructuring there. And I'm shocked that they haven't done it yet. So, I'm like, wow, they're really bad. And they need to do something to change things up. And, sometimes Aaron Glenn's is not the answer. Pete was not the answer in Vegas. It's like, just accept that you made a mistake and go get somebody else.
Like Josh Rosen with the Arizona.
Well, I mean, even the Cardinals guy, is an offensive-minded head coach. The
Kingsbury.
Kingsbury would be a good candidate out there if they could talk the Oregon quarterback, into not taking the NIL money and coming into the draft.
Has he not declared?
Not yet.
Oh, I thought he declared. Okay.
Is
Mendoza? I mean, Mendoza's still playing in the play.
Mendoza.
I guess we're projecting, but
and again, we talked about the situation, but let's say those 2 guys do come out. Then the Jets need an offensive-minded head coach.
Mm-hmm. That could be Kevin Stefanski, the offensive guru.
Well, it could be Stefanski, or it could be Kingsbury, or it could even be the guy who got fired from Jonathan Gannon. Could even be him.
Yeah, Gannon, right.
So,
Jim, what did you think of this game? Bills 4 touchdowns from Trubisky and backup time, I suppose.
I didn't play this game. This game was not on my money line. Probably, Monday morning quarterback, it should have been. Final score 8-35. Bills are 12-1 straight up at home December and January. Now they're 13-1. They're 4-0 straight up at home versus the Jets. 10-2 straight up versus the Jets. This game was just all Bills. It's just that the question was how long was Josh Allen actually going to play in this game?
0.
Trubisky, they trotted out. That's why I stayed away from this game, because I knew Allen wasn't going to play the whole game, if at all. From what I understand, Allen still has that foot injury, so it's kind of questionable, how they're going to do this week against the Jaguars. And, this game pretty much went as we thought it would go. But, I didn't have any money on the game. I didn't bet the game. I don't think Mike bet it either. So,
No.
this was a stay away game for me because of Allen's lack of playing time in the game.
His uninvolvement here. I'd ask Izzy, but he's blackened out here. Mike, any final thoughts on Bills Jets?
No, nothing to say about it. Good luck to the Bills in the playoffs.
Let's talk about two teams that are in the playoffs, right? Chargers, Broncos. Broncos get the win, Mike.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of this game. I thought it was average. I don't think either team looks scary or dangerous in terms of the Super Bowl.
And you said that about the Broncos all year.
Chargers just tanked it, saving all their guys for the playoffs. I don't blame them for that. I do have one thing to say about this, which is fun. If you compare Russell Wilson's last year in Denver to Bo Nix's year this year in Denver, in the same system, Russell Wilson's stats are pretty much better all around. So they spent $83 million in dead cap space to not upgrade at the quarterback position. Congratulations, Sean Payton, Coach of the Year. Actually, it wasn't so much Payton. It was the organization that wanted to get out from under that ridiculous contract. But that's funny. To me, that just cracks me up. I'm like, wow, I posted this on my Twitter. Wow, look at 2023 Russ. More touchdowns, higher completion percentage, higher passer rating, fewer yards, but, they didn't upgrade. But, okay, way to go, Denver. And I don't know. I don't think much of either team, to be honest with you.
Izzy, the other team in your backyard, the Chargers, they get blown out, but they were playing Trey Lance and some backups.
I think everyone knew the Broncos were going to win. The Chargers need to rest up their guys. Their O-line's banged up. Backups playing at O-line, so should get them some rest, especially with Justin Herbert in his left hand. So,
do you guys think that Trey Lance is kind of like Justin Fields, the other guy in that draft? Like, he just doesn't have a feel for the passing game?
Probably.
I mean, that's what it feels like to me. Like, he just doesn't.
I mean, I saw Justin Fields with a feel for the game when he was winning games for the Buckeyes. Like, I watched him play pretty well.
Yeah, I saw him doing good when he was on the Steelers. And
I liked him in college, but he just doesn't seem to have a feel for the passing game. And neither does kids. He just doesn't.
Faster. The players are bigger. It might be more mental comprehension. Who knows? I'm just kind of curious when we're going to get the AI breakthrough with the video games, the virtual simulation, the goggles, the meta, whatever you want to call it, the quarterback enhancing. And I guess you could do it for any position, but mainly for the quarterback. You have to process so much.
They do that now. My old our new high school head coach, when I was there for football, he works with a company that does the virtual reality headsets for quarterbacks. Fernando Mendoza, he came out, he said he does that, and a couple other quarterbacks are trying it out. But yeah, I mean, it should be like a common thing for them to help them out to process things faster.
Yeah, people with physical talents, but they're just not processing it. They're not seeing the field the right way. They're not reading the play fast. And it's like, you don't want to take all these reps because there's only so many practice reps you can take. You don't want to get dinged up. But you could do that forever in a video game. You could play 8 hours a day and you're not taking real hits, but you're getting muscle memory and you're standing on one of those platforms where you can move. And I don't know. I wonder how quick we're going to see massive upgrades there with players that just can't get to the next level, maybe then be able to get to the next level. Jim, I don't know what you think about any of that, but do you have any thoughts on the statistics of this game? Any of the numbers crunching?
Broncos? Yeah, the game opened 11.5. It was quickly bet up to 12.5. Broncos. Everybody had information knowing that Harbaugh was going to sit his guys, and rightfully so. I mean, everybody can say, well, that's a CS move, but Harbaugh knew that his team wasn't going to move up or move down, in the standings. They were pretty much going to stay the way they were. So why risk anybody getting hurt, particularly in Denver, when the Broncos know how to play the Chargers just because they're in division. But, Bo Nix, 8-4 against the spread as a home favorite. He's now 14-3 straight up at home. Broncos 13-1 straight up at home the last 14 games. So, Harbaugh knew he wasn't going to win that game. He wasn't going to win that game if he played his starters, so.
Nope.
Yeah, so that was the move to make. Broncos was another team on my money line parlay. It was a safe bet.
Okay. Any other final thoughts rambling out here on this one? Okay, head shaking. Let's move on to the next one. The New England Football Patriots took down the Miami Dolphins 38-10. Drake May. Yeah, and by the way, I think Drake May was the quarterback. Myles Garrett sacked 5 times this season in one game. A potential MVP candidate. It's just always interesting when you get people having incredible seasons when they match and how those stats go up against each other, Mike.
Drake May's good. Drake May's good. He's better than I thought he was going to be, but I don't see anything that super special there. And I expect in the playoffs when he gets heat, he's going to be not considered an MVP type player. I think that's ridiculous overhype, only because he plays on the East Coast in a big city East Coast market. But I do think he's a good player. I wouldn't mind having him. If you said, would you trade Darnold for Drake May? I'd probably say yeah, because he's younger and he's got more of a future. But having said that, I think I seriously doubt he's going to carry them to win the Super Bowl. So
we'll see. I like the coach Vrabel. I wish he would have the Browns should have never let Vrabel leave the sideline last year. We should have signed him to be head coach and retained Jim Schwartz as defensive coordinator. But this game was a story of running. That's what got it done. The Ramondres and the Travions, 2 touchdowns each, Izzy. This was fun to watch. What say you?
Yeah, their run game has opened up. I like Mike Vrabel a lot as head coach. Tennessee should have kept him. I don't know how much of if he wanted to leave or the team didn't want to keep him anymore. But, Miami Dolphins final game of the season. They're trying to figure out who they can play next year at quarterback. If they're going to trade to they can afford to trade him. If they're going to have a quarterback for next year, if they just roll out with Quinn Ewers, maybe draft one. I don't know. But as far as the Patriots, Drake May, he's had a great season. The defense has played good, and the run game is well. Also, Travion Henderson, Ramondre. So them rolling into the playoffs. Are they the number 1 seed?
No.
So who do they play week 1?
Let me pull that up in a second. Let me go to Jim while we check that. Jim, these are the Fighting Ramondres, your buddy, your neighbor. What'd you take away here?
Oh, Ramondre's not my neighbor, but his mother's a friend of the family.
That part.
Duran Stevenson's boy. He had 130 carries this year. He's averaging 4.64 yards a carry. He is a good to great running back. Going into this game, this was another money line bet that we had. Dolphins 2-12 straight up when the temperature is below 50 degrees. Dolphins just cannot play in cold weather. Patriots 12-1 straight up and 10-3 against the spread. 22-6 against the spread as a double-digit favorite. Dolphins are just a miserable. They're 2-19 straight up against teams with winning records. 2-19. This was a no-brainer money line bet. Final score 10-38. Like I said, the number was bet up from 10.5 to 11.5. So the sharps were on this game, as far as the Patriots winning the game at least.
And Izzy, Broncos have the 1 seed. Patriots are the 2 seed. So I don't know if you had any thoughts on that. But Broncos.
So they're playing the Chargers. I mean, that might be a close game. I'm not so sure about that one.
Well, we'll get to our playoff
Yeah. I was just making sure about
in
that.
just a minute here. I think we just have a game or two to wrap up. Or did we do them all? Oh no, we got a couple here. Philly, and the Redskins, Mike. Philly goes down.
Oh no, I mean Philly didn't play their starters. They weren't that worried about their playoff seeding. They rested their guys. That's good for them this week. I expect them to win. Commanders, Redskins played a solid game, and it was a game that wasn't really worth playing. So should have just called it a draw and let it go.
Now, I saw a play, and it might have been from this game. Tank Bigsby absolutely lifted up and body slammed somebody. I don't know if it was from this. I think it was from this game. You got to check that out on X. Just type in Tank Bigsby slam.
Brian, you know what you should look up on X?
What?
Cam Ward slamming Grant Delpit on the ground.
Oh, boy. I don't want to see that. Tag us at TNAM Football. Everybody follow us at TNAM Football. That guy in the corner is Ryel Ez, Ryelez, and get Mike Bara. He's at seahawkboymikeb or Mike Bara 333, and we have yet to open Jim's up coming soon. Jim, any thoughts on Eagles and Commanders from the betting trends perspective?
Oh, Jesus Christ, Brian. No, this was a stay away game for me. I mean, 24-17, Redskins win the game. Eagles going into this game, they were 7-3 straight up versus the Redskins. Everything was saying bet the Eagles in this game, but it's the Eagles were resting players. Sirianni was up front about that. Prior to the game being bet. Interesting stat on the Eagles. You might want to keep in mind for a playoff game. Playoffs. The Eagles have a 70% conversion in the red zone, third down. 70%.
What's that?
It's probably the best in the NFL.
Well,
Don't talk about playoffs.
Well,
Let's
let Jay.
playoffs?
I just hope we can win a game.
Me too. Go ahead,
I mean, that might be an account to a lot of touch pushes in the red zone on third down or fourth down, whatever you want to call it.
Sure it does.
Good point. Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, even without Jason Kels, in there playing center, there's still 70% conversion rate in the red zone. That's pretty damn good.
And I just got to say, at that game, I was watching Travis. Poor Travis, man. His body language was really down. He's sitting there going, "This is it. I have to hang out with Taylor after this now for the rest of
Man,
I think
he's about to be a billionaire now. His brother says they make more money doing podcasts and doing the television than they made playing in the league.
Yeah.
He's about ready to knock out a couple kids and get locked in with the billionaire and live in the biggest house in Ohio. I mean, it's not the worst thing. And I guess Taylor Swift is big into numerology and her favorite number is 13. And this is Travis Kelce's 13th season.
Yeah,
So
well,
the girl math says Travis.
I think Kels plays one more season next year with a contender. And it's not going to be the Chiefs because they're not going to be contenders. So that's
All right, we shall see. Any more thoughts on this game, fellas? Not so much. Okay, we had
let's go to the playoffs.
we had Bears and Lions. By the way, Lions got this win. Didn't really matter, Mike.
Yeah, it didn't have any effect on anything, and I don't know. I don't have anything to say about it.
Anyone have anything to say about it? Disappointing year for the Lions.
I got to head out in like 20, 30 minutes to go get a haircut.
Let's
I'm
go
just letting y'all know.
Let's go to the
Okay,
picks.
Jim, any quick thoughts on this one before we do the playoff preview?
No, I want to see the haircut.
Yeah, Izzy, what are you doing for the haircut? Because you got to get it high and tight to impress your new boss.
Just a lineup to make it look better. Cut it down just a little bit and fade or like a tiny little, just touch up around.
Mike, what's your recommendation? Should Izzy get a light touch up or should he go high and tight, kind of getting ready to meet his boss?
Just get it over with. They're going to take it all off anyway.
Yeah, what the hell?
Okay, that's what I'm thinking too. All right, let's jump to how do we want to do this? Playoffs, give it to Jim.
Let's go to Jim. Let's go to Jim. I'll share and
let's do the matchups here. I'll pull this up on the screen and Mike's sharing this screen.
Give me a sec.
It's gonna switch over. I got the playoffs guy. Where's the second one? Hang on. Gotta press. Here we go. Here is Jim Mithchell's.
Did I not post this yet?
I don't know. I'm just looking at your screen. You tell me. Good, sir.
Probably shouldn't do that. Probably shouldn't share my screen while I'm going through my computer, just to let you know.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna keep moving. Hold on. Wait. Now you got it right, and I moved away from it.
There we go.
Nothing. Not too much incriminating here. Not too much incriminating. On a Mike Bara scale of 1 to 10, this is a 5 of incrimination.
Yeah. Thank God I wasn't in my DMs.
Who's
All right.
sliding into your DMs?
There
Okay. Rams, Panthers. Jim, take it away. The floor is yours, good sir.
Rams Panthers. This is the first two games are going to be Saturday games. This game is played at 1:30 specific time. The Rams opened as a 10.5 point favorite against the Panthers. They are. I'm looking at Boyd Sports right now. They are still 10.5. Over under is 46.5 in this game. The Rams are. These are all bettable games now, guys. This is for real. The players that are going to play are going to play. So these stats are for real in all these games right now.
And Jim, speaking of that, we do need to do our NFL game picker as well. So Izzy, make sure you drop your game picks.
Yeah, let's
go ahead, Jim.
The Rams are 19-8 against the spread. Game time weather, by the way, so far 70 degrees and rain. The rain might be a factor. There's a 50% chance of rain in Charlotte at game time. Rams are 11-4 against the spread as a favorite. They are 9-2 against the spread as a road favorite. The Rams are 11-3 against the spread on the road. Matt Stafford, 1-11 straight up in the rain and snow.
Wow,
that's a real number.
And is it going to rain? Did you give us the weather?
50% chance of rain in Charlotte.
I think it was raining there when they lost to them a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, they lost them a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I was just going to say that.
So figure that in. That's
right.
1-11 straight up in the rain and snow. That's huge. Rams 19-4 against the spread in December. Matt Stafford is 18-4 straight up in December and January, regular season. Rams are 8-4 straight up in the playoffs. Favorites of 4 points or more. Again, this number is getting bigger, guys. 137-1 straight up.
Wow.
Favorites of 4 points or more. So that's a good money line number right there. Double-digit favorites are 24-19 against the spread. Double-digit favorites are 42-4 straight up. Huge. Panthers. This applies to the Panthers. This is a new number we compiled last year. Underdogs of 8 points or more are 1-15 straight up in the playoffs.
I think this screams to me, if it rains, if you're there Saturday and you're at the casino lined up like
playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me?
I'm not.
Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
I was just trying to preview the game. Go ahead, Mike.
If it's gonna rain, I'm taking the Panthers and the points. I mean, they're not going to win the game, but
that's a ton of points, and that is a neutralizer.
Yeah,
if there's rain.
That might be a bet.
Yeah, doesn't that 1-15 straight up in the playoffs scare you though, Mike?
No, I think the 1-11 straight up in the rain and snow is what's calling to me right now.
I agree.
A siren from the sea.
Okay. All right. I would agree with that.
Okay. You don't have to. Packers Bears.
Packers are a 1.5 point. They opened at 1.5. I'm looking at Boyd Sports right now. They are still 1.5. The over-under in this game is 45.5. Division game. Game time is supposed to be 38 degrees and sleet in Chicago. The Packers are 5-1 straight up versus the Bears in Chicago. They are 12-2 straight up versus the Bears the last 14 games. The Bears are 11-4 straight up. They are 6-1 straight up at home. The Bears played the Lions last week. Teams that play the Lions are 9-20 straight up and 8-21 against the spread the week after. And the Lions beat them last week. So
Hey, let me. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jim.
No, that's it.
Izzy, let me double check the time before you got to run. Do you need to make your picks real quick? Just you want to get those out of the way in case you got to bounce?
I mean, yeah, if you guys want me to, I mean, I can do it right now.
Just in case you got to bounce. Let's get your picks in. So
Izzy,
All right, cool.
Are you going caveman?
Yeah, caveman.
not with the haircut, but caveman with the technology.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, wild card round. I got to pull it up. See, turn this around.
That's extra caveman style. All right, I'll take it.
All right, can you guys see?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So Los Angeles, Carolina. You know, I'm gonna take Los Angeles. Green Bay, Chicago. Oh man, I'll come back to that one. Buffalo, Jaguars. These are really good games. I mean, it's the playoffs. So Buffalo Jags. I'm gonna take Josh Allen and the Bills. San Francisco, Philadelphia. I'm gonna take the San Francisco 49ers. Houston, Pittsburgh. Houston, and Los Angeles, New England. I'm gonna take the Chargers because I'm biased. These are a lot of biased picks. So, Green Bay, Chicago.
Yeah, that's what I did. I forgot to go back, and I missed out on a chance.
I need Chicago to win for a higher draft pick, so I'm gonna put it that way.
Oh, you're letting your heart make the pick. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Can't argue with that.
So a lot of bias. So
It's all right.
All
Okay,
right.
stay with us as long as you can, as he bounce when you have to.
yep.
All right. Yeah, I sort of like the Packers here. I know the Bears are a better team this year, but prove it. Prove it when it counts. They haven't been there before. They're not used to this. Packers are.
And Jordan Love, he sat for a bit, quite a bit of while, and it's the playoffs, so that might play.
I like the Packers there, I think. All right, Bills giving 1.5 to the Jaguars. By the way, Izzy, you wrote off Trevor Lawrence this year, and look what happened. I'm just saying. You gave him the kiss of death.
I was watching LaShawn McCoy talk about something about Trevor Lawrence last night, but yeah, you can keep going with the games.
He finally made some progress this year. He really did. He really did.
Yeah.
Bills, Jaguars, Jim.
Bills, this game opened, Bills 1.5 point road favorite. I do not understand this line here, guys.
What would you like it to be?
Me neither.
I think the Jags are a 3-point favorite in this game.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean they won their past 9 games, right?
I'm going to hit this game.
Yeah.
I think the Bills are walking wounded. I don't think they're that good. And
Even
I
if they're healthy, right?
And I think that ship has sailed as far as the Jaguars playing over their head. I don't think they're playing over their head. I think they're a good football team.
Okay.
Game time temperature is 67 degrees and cloudy. I'm looking at the spread right now. Bills are still 1.5 at Boyd Sports here in Vegas. Bills are 20-17 against the spread, and the Jaguars are 7-1 against the spread as a home dog. Those are the only stats I have on this game. They don't play each other a lot, so that's what we have. I think this is probably the best bet of the week.
I like Jags too. I think you're right.
I like the Jags as a home dog. Home dog M tough.
All right.
All right.
Niners, Eagles. Eagles are given 4.5. Niners off of their big dud against the Seahawks.
Eagles opened as a 4.5 point favorite. They are still 4.5. The over-under in this game is 44.5. Game time temperature 58 degrees and windy. Just a side note, guys. What do you notice about all 6 of these games?
You color coded them.
No. Good one, Engelman.
Uh,
They're all outdoor games.
oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. All
What
right.
does that tell you? What does that tell you?
Real football.
Home teams do not
The
win
best
Super
football
Bowls.
teams play outside.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. 49ers are 1-5 against the spread as a road dog since 2025 this year. 49ers teams that played. This is a Bara stat here. This is a Bara stat. Mike called this in to me 2 days ago. Teams that play the Seahawks are 5-11 straight up the week after. You're muted, Mike.
No, I'm not. We just beat you down and we hurt you. And anyway,
5-11 straight up the week after.
And don't forget the 49ers, they had 4 guys go out of that game. They were injured coming in. They lost 4 more guys. We beat the shit out of them. They're beat up.
Mhm.
I'm not taking them. I'll just tell you that right now. Go ahead.
Eagles are 24-14 against the spread. Jalen Hurts 21-2 straight up as a home favorite. Eagles are 6-3 straight up versus teams with winning records. Favorites of 4 points or more are 137 and 1 tie straight up. I like the Eagles in this game, guys. I think Mike is correct. I think the 49ers are beat up. They're traveling 3,500 miles to play this game. Temperatures 58 degrees. That's moderate, but it's going to be windy. So the passing game and the kicking game are probably going to suffer in this game.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts, guys?
Just in the playoffs, when those yards count, that tush push, it's going to come in.
Yeah. I just think
hanging,
the 49ers are beat up. They played the Seahawks last week. They got more beat up.
Yeah.
They're going to get a few guys back, but they also lost 3 or 4 of these starters. They're not going to play this week. They're down to about their 9th linebacker. I don't think there's any way they go into Philadelphia and the Eagles.
I will reiterate the Eagles are 70% in the red zone.
Yeah. And, Jim, the only question I have is what about the money line on this one versus the points? 4.5 is, Vegas, they're great at this. They tease you. I like the Eagles. I'll give the points, but 4.5. 49ers are good enough to give you a football game, unless they play out like last week. So, what do you think?
It's a matter of value. I can do it real quick. If you take the Eagles on the money line right now, they're minus 220. $100 bet on the money line. If you take the Eagles, your return is $45.45. That answers your money line question.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Now I have to back out of this.
Sorry.
All right, I'm out. You want to go to the next game, Brian, or you got more? Okay, Chargers at Patriots. This game is the last game played on Sunday. This is a night game. This is 5 p.m. Specific time. It's on NBC. All these games are on network TV except the Green Bay game is Amazon Prime.
Jim, what day are these games played? Are they Saturday and Sunday, half and half?
The first 2 games are on Saturday. The Rams and the Panthers and the Packers and the Bears are Saturday.
Okay.
And that's an evening game also with the Packers Bears. That's 5 o'clock Pacific time. And the next 3, Bills, San Francisco, and Chargers. They are all Sunday games and 5 p.m. for Chargers Patriots.
Monday.
And Steelers Texans are Monday night. So
Yeah, we have a Monday night game this week. And Monday night, we'll get to that. Monday night, very important for Pittsburgh.
It's football through Thursday through Monday. Starting Thursday. College football playoff as well.
Oh,
Thursday and Friday.
my heart. I can't even think of it. All right.
Okay, Chargers at Patriots. Game time temperature 39 degrees and rain. Patriots are a 3.5-point favorite. They opened at 3.5. They are still 3.5. The over-under in this game is 46.5. The Chargers are 16-8 against the spread versus the AFC. Chargers are 6-11 straight up versus teams with winning records. Not good. But the Chargers are 5-0 in primetime night games. Chargers, this applies to the Chargers. Teams that played in Denver the week before are 2-6 straight up and 0-8 against the spread the week after.
Yeah, but they rested their starters.
Right,
So that
they rested their starters, so you have to take that into consideration. But still, 0-8. My God.
Yeah.
Chargers, teams that played the Broncos are 4-12 straight up the week after.
Also,
if you just play the Broncos, either road or home.
Yeah.
Patriots are 13-1 straight up. They are 11-3 against the spread. Real good numbers. If this game goes to 4, the favorites of 4 points or more would kick in, which is 137-1 straight up. That's why I've got this under question marks. So that's a possibility. If this game is bet up, if Patriot money comes in, then that stat would hit.
Yes, Marion, it's just you. Everybody else loves Thursday football games because it's a football game. So,
Jim, Izzy, do you love Thursday night football games?
Who doesn't like a day without football?
I mean, could we have football on every day of the week, or would it be overkill?
Well, I've always said
Tuesday and Wednesday to recoup.
What they should do, like the XFL or UFL or whatever it was, they should play during the same season. They should play Tuesdays and Wednesdays because those are the only 2 nights the NFL is dark. So that and then we can have football every night of the week, and UFL might catch on. So Jim, looks to me like everything's pretty much saying Patriots in this game. What about the point spread?
Yeah, I'm not crazy about the half, but I think the Patriots just outright win this game.
Yeah,
I just think they're a stronger team than the Justin A. Bears. Isn't it? It's by the way, isn't it Mike A. Bara?
Yes, it's Mike A. Bara. Yeah.
A. Bara.
Yeah. Okay.
Michael.
Not one of my stronger bets, but if I were to bet the game, I would be on the side of the Patriots.
All right.
Makes sense.
Texans Steelers Monday night.
This is a Monday night game. Very important for the Steelers. Texans.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs.
Well, he was.
Me? Playoffs?
Trying to talk
I
about
just
it.
hope we can win a game.
Me too.
Texans opened as a 3.5-point favorite. As of now, the Texans are a 3-point favorite. Isn't that interesting? What does that tell you, guys? It tells you that there's Steeler money coming in on the Sharks.
What's the weather report?
I forgot. Yeah, okay.
33 degrees and clear skies.
That's kind of
You're not going to see the skies. It's a night game.
Yeah, the 33 degrees. I don't know what that does to the field. Maybe it makes it worse, like more like a pitching wedge practice green.
Yeah. Texans are a dome team playing outdoors in the cold. Texans are 5-5 straight up and against the spread versus teams with winning records. So they're 50-50. Again, if this game goes to 4, 137-1, it doesn't look like it's going to go to 4 unless it's bet back up. Steelers are 23-10-3 straight up as dog. That's a good number. Steelers are 15-7 against the spread at home. That's another good number. The Steelers are 11-4-2 ties against the spread when getting 3 points at home or more. This is the big number, sports fans. The Steelers are 23-0 straight up on Monday Night Football since 1991. 23-0. Aaron Rodgers is 11-3 straight up on Monday Night Football. And the Steelers are 7-12 against the spread after beating the Ravens.
Yeah, see, this is the thing. If this game was in Houston, I'd be on the Texans like a fly on shit. But with that field, I don't know. I don't think I trust Houston. I think Steelers.
Yeah. I just switched my pick from Houston to Pittsburgh. As good as their defense is.
Yeah, and the weather,
Yep.
Home dog. And
DK's back as well.
Dave Bara
Hello, Dave.
about to go in and cash in his division.
Oh, I thought that was an early degenerate pick. No, that's a futures bet.
That's a double Bara bet. Nice.
Good. That's
How much are you getting?
I think 500.
500.
Show us that money again, Mike. Show us that money. This is why
you
you guys
show us how to do it. You've been practicing.
This is why we had so many views on our Christmas show.
Yeah, there you go.
You see that? That's why the money.
The question is, I wish you could stick around because I'm gonna put up a poll on my Twitter. What do I spend this money on? Do I pay a bill?
Spend it on a poll in Vegas.
Do I pay a bill? Do I take it to Spearmint Rhino or Hookers and Blow?
Get Seahawks championship tatted on you.
Yeah.
2020.
Oh, how confident is Mike? Would he get a tattoo? I love that.
Bet your money again.
I was supposed to get a tattoo every time I have a major life change, and I didn't get one after I moved to Vegas.
No, Mike, what you do is you take that money and get rid of a few alleged friends.
Mike, do you have a PS5?
No.
You could get a PS5 and play Izzy in like Madden.
He'll destroy me. Okay, I suck.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there comes a point in your life when you realize your reflexes are not getting any faster. They're not going to ever get back to what they were when you were 22. So, no, I'd rather not be humiliated by Izzy. All right.
Fair enough.
This is probably going to be my play of the week, guys, is the Steelers again.
You like the Steelers that much?
I like the Steelers. I'm not saying that it's a stone cold lead pipe lock of the week.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Look at that.
But
all right,
I'm not calling it a lead pipe lock of the week, guys. But I do like the Steelers in this situation.
All right, let's do the picks. Let's do the picks and get this kid out of here.
All right, Mike, start with you. We got Izzy's.
Okay, I'm up. Let me turn that off.
There we are. That should do it. Okay.
All right. Okay. So last week I was 9-7. I think we all kind of were. So I maintained my slight lead going into the playoffs, and move on to the wild card round. All right. So Los Angeles, Carolina, straight up. Rams are going to win the game, but I do like the bet on Carolina the points. Green Bay and Chicago. I want Green Bay to win because then they have to come to Seattle and play the Seahawks. That's the matchup I want. I think it's a very close game. It's a division game, but I do kind of like, as a practical matter, Chicago at home. But I will be rooting for Green Bay. Buffalo at Jacksonville. Jim, you convinced me on Jacksonville. They've won 8 or 9 in a row. Liam Cohen is an excellent coach. And I do think the Bills are beat up, and they're not getting the best out of Josh Allen, so I think their season kind of mercifully ends here. 49ers at Eagles. I told you, again, Eagles rested their starters. 49ers played their guys the whole game. They got the shit beat out of them. They got beat up. They're more beat up even than they were last week. Their confidence is going to be shaken. The Eagles' defense is almost as smothering as the Seahawks' defense is. I think that this game can get away from them pretty early. I'm not confident enough to bet it, but I'm taking the Eagles absolutely to win the game. Chargers, New England. I like New England. I do think they get through their first playoff game. Chargers are going to represent a challenge, but not that big a one. And Houston, Pittsburgh, my heart wants to take Houston. I think they're a better team, but Jim, the weather and the Aaron Rodgers and the Mike Tomlin Monday night thing tell me I should take the Steelers. So what I'm going to bet is I'm going to get a 3-team parlay going. I should have gone with Dave Bara. Jaguars on the money line. I'm taking the Eagles and giving the points. and I'm going to take the what's the other one? The Panthers and the points if it rains. If the weather forecast says it's definitely raining on Sunday, I'm going to take the Panthers and the points. That's going to be my 3-team degenerate parlay that I'll have to get in on Saturday.
Nice. All right. Going for your picks. Jim, what are yours, good sir?
Okay.
You can do it, Jim.
I think I'm going to be a little contrarian. I got some room to make up.
Believe in you, Jim.
Are you there?
Damn it, Jim. I'm a gambler, not a
Oh, you're only one game behind me. Damn.
Oh my gosh.
Well, you're 172, Mike?
Yeah, 172 and 100.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the Rams to win the game. I don't think they covered the number in this game. I will take the Bears to pull this out against Green Bay. I don't think Green Bay is as good as people project that they are. I think the Bears have lost the last 2 games, and I think it's because they were probably resting some key players. I will go ahead and take the Bears to beat Green Bay in this game. I love the Jaguars against the Bills. I think Josh Allen is one and done, which is going to make him sick because Patrick is not in the playoffs this year. I will take the Eagles to beat the 49ers convincingly. I will take the Patriots to beat the Chargers. And my favorite pick of the week is the Steelers again to beat Houston.
All right.
Okay. Those are your picks. Let me go ahead and pull up mine. Pull yours off of the screen here.
I'm just telling you, Jim, you're not going to catch me by picking the exact same picks that I do. Just telling you.
Here's how I'm going to catch you guys. I am going to pick some different ones. I can't pick Carolina.
I made those picks last night, Mike, so I had a lot of homework to do, and I went ahead and did it. I'm not looking to catch you. I'm looking to cash.
Brian, you got to hit some home runs here.
Well, I'm not going to start by doing something stupid like betting on the Panthers, although the weather does concern me. I will pick Green Bay in this one. I just think they have the muscle memory. The Bears have not been really good for really recent muscle memory on that. And I think it'll matter even on the road because I think the Chicago fans are going to be nervous. I think that'll play a role as well. That's an underrated component to.
Yeah, it's a young team, but they're well coached. So you do have to worry if things start to go bad, do they fall apart?
Yeah,
or do they bounce back? Yeah, that's
just the tension of the crowd.
They haven't done it yet. Yeah, they haven't done it yet.
Exactly.
Home field advantage, and the big thing is the coach.
Facts. I am going to pick Josh Allen. This has got to be his year. I know Trevor Lawrence is making a case, and he's had a heck of a bounce back, a glow up year. Just that gives you a little bit of faith in giving your quarterback a couple of years to put it together. But I will pick Buffalo. I know that they have their struggles, but man, I feel like maybe they're a team on a mission this year, the Bills. I will pick the Eagles here. I think they are the better team. I wouldn't be surprised if the Niners win, but I will pick the Eagles.
Breaking news. Jim Harbaugh has been fired, or John Harbaugh has been fired in Baltimore.
Oh, my Lord. Really?
Oh, you heard it here first.
Really?
Yeah.
33 minutes ago.
He's going to be out of work for about 15 minutes.
Yeah, and so what clearly happened here is Lamar said it's me or him, and so it doesn't look like they're going to trade Lamar to me. It doesn't look like that now at all. So
you read it as a clear power struggle thing.
Clearly, yeah. Yep. One of them had to go. It's very similar to the Russell Wilson, Pete Carroll thing, 2022. Russ is like, I can't succeed with this style of football. So it's me or him, and they said, "Okay, we'll trade you because Pete's our guy." So anyway,
well then I am instantly calling him as a Cleveland Browns owner. Why not? He knows how to win in the division.
Knows how to win Super Bowls.
Yeah, I'm all right. He's right at the top of my list. Okay, thank you for that breaking news, Mike. Good stuff there. Let me continue with my pick. No. Thank you. That was what I would not want to continue picking my picks and not delivering that news. Los Angeles, New England. New England's tough. I'm picking them. And I'll pick Houston over Pittsburgh. I like Aaron Rodgers because he defied the bully campaign of you got to put this in you to earn a living. I don't like that. I like Aaron Rodgers from his Green Bay days, but Houston defense is solid. Pittsburgh is not that good. They backed into the play. They had to earn it. Don't get me wrong. They earned it in that Ravens game, but I think Houston defense is going to make a difference, and maybe CJ Stroud will have a coming out party. And those are my picks because on the leaderboard, I'm 5 games back. I got a little bit of cleanup to do, and this will help me a little bit when I ace my exams this week. Fingers crossed. Those are my picks. Gentlemen, let's go around the horn with final words. Izzy, if he has them, can jump. Izzy, we'll give you final words first so you get your haircut. High and tight.
NFL playoff football's here. The season's over. Like that. So,
like that.
No, just take everything for granted. That's it.
Yeah. And of course, like you said, there's the college football playoffs as well.
Yep.
Didn't even mention that, but we did a robust show today. No need to get into college, but I will watch reluctantly as my Buckeyes will sit this one out. Mike Bara, tell us about your show tonight on Toxically Masculine Tuesday.
Yeah, Toxically Masculine Tuesday. Do you think there's anything in the news to talk about? Venezuela, Iran.
V for Venezuela.
Tim Waltz. There's a few things to talk about, so tune in for Toxically Masculine Tuesday with me and the Newsboys as we tell you what's really going on, what the real news is, not the fake news.
Nice. Yeah, follow that. And your X feed is Mike Bear 333 and on YouTube.
Or Seahawk Boy Mike B. Seahawk Boy Mike B if you just want to do football. So
perfect. Jim always is good for a quote of the day.
Not necessarily a quote of the day, just a suggestion. There's only 6 games this week in the NFL, guys. Don't force the parlay bets. Don't force yourself into thinking you have to bet a parlay, especially if you're stuck for the year and you're trying to make the money back. Go moderate and just focus on the straight bets. You normally you'll only get 11 to 10 on your money on a straight bet, but still it's a win, and it's not a money that you would lose on a parlay. If you absolutely have to bet a parlay, just don't bet a full unit. In other words, don't bet more than 10% of your wallet. Keep it down. On a 3-team parlay, you're still getting 6 to 1. So it's entertainment purposes and the possibility of cashing the ticket, but don't put all your eggs in one basket on a parlay. Stick with the straight bets this week.
And those were a lot of words and a lot of gambling vernacular, but tell me in the feels. Tell me when you feel that a parlay bet makes sense and when you feel like you're chasing it. Tell me the difference. Like what does it feel like? How do you know if you're chasing it too hard versus I got a strong hunch here? Like what's the difference in feel?
If you've got 6 games that you're betting, a lot of players will throw an over/under on there if they only like one game out of the 6 games. Sometimes they'll force it and they'll throw an over/under on the parlay. Just so that they get the odds. In other words, on a 3-team parlay, you're getting 6 to 1 on your money. On a 14 parlay, you're getting 10 to 1 on your money. So incrementally it goes up the more teams. But every time you put a team on the parlay, it gets twice as hard to hit that ticket. Mm-hmm. Twice as hard.
All right. So restrained betting.
I'm not saying keep your money in your pocket this week. There's a lot of games, good games to bet. But if you must bet a parlay, it's like if there's 2 games out of the 6 that you like, go ahead and bet a 2-teamer. You're getting 13 to 5 on your money on a 2-teamer.
Guys, I just want to do this real quick before there's already a Harbaugh meme out. This is great. Brian, why don't you show that to everybody? This is great. Harbaugh fired. Harbaugh fired.
Oh, that is
I told you. I was like, if the Steelers were to win, Mike Tomlin probably would have got. I mean, lost. He probably would have got fired. All right, guys, I'm out. I gotta go.
Right. Get that haircut, Izzy.
Peace.
Izzy's going to meet his new boss on Thursday. He's got to look.
Say hi to Pete for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. All right, well, gentlemen.
Carol. Yeah.
Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody. Hit like, hit subscribe here on Strictly Football. Go check out Mike's show, Toxically Masculine, Tuesday tonight on his channels. And we will probably be back. We'll aim for Tuesday, 3 p.m. That still works for everybody, perhaps.
I think so. That's a good time for me. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, then we'll plan on seeing you Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern time, going over what happened in week 1 of the 2025 football playoffs. Signing out for everybody out here in the TNAM universe. I appreciate you. I love you. And we'll talk to you again soon. Take care, everybody. Peace.
Bye.
Hi, this is Eric Metcalf, and you're watching Unhappy Hour.
New American Media is proud to present a division of the Unhappy Hour sports show, Strictly Football.
It's the Unhappy Hour.